It is Friday. I am Rob. What's up? Like that intro? Yeah, I planned that one out. It was really awesome. Mark in here, Blake in here, Hetzer in here. What's up? Shout out to Mark. We've missed you. You've been popping in here and there. But just want to let you know I appreciate you because there was probably, a 5-month stretch where every stream started off with "Let's get it" from Mark. And it always made me feel great. And he was in the lobby before I even logged on. You watched every second of every stream before you got this new job. And we miss you. But it kind of reminded me of like waking up to a loved one, a girl, hopefully. Maybe not. Whatever. We don't judge here. But like the love of your life or a really hot girl, and it's just you wake up, you fucking are happy. Seeing Mark in here saying "Let's get it" makes me happy. So I am happy. Thank you, Mark. We love you. We got Jake in here. What's going on, buddy? Jake will probably draft with us. We're going to give it a couple minutes before we hop into this underdog draft. We're going to do super flex tonight for the first one. We'll see if we do a second one. I am currently a single father with my 2 dogs, so they're going to be making a lot of noise. We'll see. I have the Dynasty League up here, our startup. Guys, we have made 14 trades. I just looked it up. There's been 14 trades in our Dynasty startup right now, the Community League, and we're only in the 6th round. 14 trades. Wild stuff. Let me know who's in here, who wants to draft with us. We're gonna get on Underdog here in a couple minutes. So we'll all hop in together. Hopefully we can get in the same league. But just let me know. We'll do a countdown here in a couple minutes. Infamous. Sorry, I missed you, Blake. Blake's Woo. We got Blake's Woo. Brick Flair. So a Ric Flair Woo. And then we had Mark with "Let's Get It." So those are 2 fixtures in the community. Blake, media manager. Shout out to Blake. Anyways, we are a couple picks away from the clock here. It freezes at 11. This is our Dynasty startup. We'll get over to Underdog in a second. But 14 trades, guys, is insane for the fact that we've only had the ability to trade, 3 days before the draft started. The draft started Tuesday. It's a slow draft. We've had 14. What do you guys think the over-under is? We have Derek in here. Shout out Derek, killing the draft. What's the over-under in trades? Again, 14 so far. Are we going to get 40 before the end of this draft? Because we're only in round 6 and there's 24 rounds. So this is wild. We have Jake going to be drafting with us. Hell yeah, I'm sure Derek's going to draft with us. Whoever else. Eventually, Blake will be drafting with us. Blake, I didn't know you'd be back. I would have done a DraftKings one. But next time, maybe Sunday night, you can hop in a DraftKings draft with us. All right. Anyone else? Let me know if anyone else is drafting. I want to wait. I know Dakota will probably be joining us, so I want to give him a couple minutes to join, and then we will start this puppy up. So I guess we can go through my team real quick. If anyone's interested in that, you guys can talk shit about my Dynasty startup team. We still have all our picks, too, so we have not traded any picks. We've just traded some draft slots. Full PPR, really deep rosters. Gibbs, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, Devonta Smith, Zay Flowers, T. Higgins, and Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry. So there's a couple good teams. Dakota's team is just unreal. He doesn't have any running backs, though. I'll check out your team, Derek. Hold your horses. I got you, brother. So Dakota's team is incomplete, I guess is what I'd say, but I like what he's doing there. We will go to Derek's team, who has all the picks. They don't have a first-round pick, but this is a lovely team. I'm a little confused on how you went. You went win now with the running backs and Nico and Rashee Rice, but then you went youth. So I got you next, Mark and Blake. I got you all before we start this draft. But, I mean, you built up so much capital that I think you can do what you're doing. I would have just preferred to go all in on the win now, but this team is still one of the best in the league with all the young players. So I love the Alec Pierce pick as well. Why am I hearing? Sorry, I have something on here. Okay. Get over to Mark's team here. Lamar Jackson, Breece Hall, Justin Jefferson, Mekhi Lemon, Casey Concepcion, and Trey McBride. The quarterback tight end early, we'll see how you could fill out the rest of your roster, but those are 2 amazing players here. Those of you just tuning in here, we're just going over our Dynasty startup start so far. We're going to hop in over to Underdog and do a best ball draft. If you want to join, give us a couple minutes. I didn't go over Derek's team. Taylor Jacobs, Nico Collins, Rashee Rice, Jordan Tyson, Harold Fannin, Jadarian Price, and Alec Pierce. I hate saying Jadarian Price because I talk fast. Don't like it. And then we'll go to Blake's team here. Hampton, Saquon, Malik Neighbors, Christian Watson, Tucker Kraft, and Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne as your flex is awesome. Did you guys hear? So there's some news about Malik Neighbors, more news about Malik Neighbors, and it is looking more and more like a possibility that he's going to be out for 3 or 4 weeks to start the year. And if that's what they're saying now, does this bleed into week 8, week 9? Like, I mean, when Malik Neighbors falls to the 4th round and there's still uncertainty, I'm in. But in the 3rd round, I am not drafting Malik Neighbors, guys. You guys agree with that? Because this is a giant risk. It's not even that great of a situation. It is for target volume, but like Jackson Dart is erratic as hell. He runs a lot. They're going to pound the ball with Harbaugh there. So, yeah, it's an interesting situation. Does anyone want to join the draft first to let us know? Be a sacrificial lamb so I don't get in and start up before you guys do. Whether that be Derek, Jake, whoever else is drafting with us, let me know if you want to get in, and then we'll all join together. There's about a 10-second delay here from when you hear me and then when it actually happens. So what's going on, Daniel? I love ETN and the flex for you, Blake. Also, one little news note that I saw I thought was pretty funny. Tiger Woods, did you guys hear he completed his rehab or his Alcoholics Anonymous, his AA? And the nice thing about it is Tiger completed it in not 12 steps. He completed it in 9 steps. They call that an albatross in golf. So Tiger Woods on a nice recovery path, 300 par in the front 9. He's killing it. Did he withdraw from the AA with back spasms? Who knows? But you know what? Now he can compete for the U.S. Open container. All right. Yeah. I'll be here all night, guys. Yeah. Congrats, Tiger Woods. Just get well, buddy. Get well. You know what's insane, though? Thinking about this, like Kobe Bryant died at 41 in a fucking helicopter crash. Tiger Woods has been driving on pills and all fucked up for how many years now? And he's still alive, flipping cars and like and Kobe gets in a helicopter and dies. Like, how many people you know that die in helicopters? Not many. I know a lot more people that have died in automobiles. So, not saying the wrong athlete died, but I kind of am saying the wrong athlete died. Not saying Tiger Woods should have died. I'm saying Kobe should still be alive. And Kobe was not driving. He was not under the influence. So this has kind of gotten off the rails. Dakota, I waited for you, brother. I waited for you. The Onion in satire. I know, Blake. I know it was a joke. I was doing a terrible bit here. I don't think anyone's taking Tiger Woods. Did he even go to AA? I doubt he went to AA. He's probably still popping them pills. But you know what? He has back issues, so it's all good. Elvis was taking pills forever and didn't think he was doing a drug because they were prescribed by a doctor, which is not the way drugs work, unfortunately. It's like me saying I don't do drugs anymore. I don't, but I drink, and unfortunately, alcohol is a drug. But I don't do the illicit substance anymore because alcohol is legal, gentlemen. All right, are we going to hop in this one? I'm going to hop in now, guys. So when you hear this, hop on in because I want to start this up. Six more to start. So hop in. It is the field general. 4 more to start. Join. You guys got to join. Hopefully you get in. There's 2 more to start. Hopefully y'all get in. Field general, super flex. Make sure you join the right tourney. Expect to see a lot of you in here. Here we go. 1 more to start. Oh, thank you, Blake. I would hope people know the Onion's a satire, but you know what? People's stupidity sometimes does surprise us, right? Like, dude, check out this awesome Onion article, dude. Aliens are living in New Mexico. Did you hear about this place called Roswell? Yeah, the Frenchie $3 tournament is an eliminator, though, Dakota, and that's really wacky scoring. I don't know how to draft for that. Like, it's different draft strategy. We're still looking for 1 more. Anyone wants to hop in? Sure, we have 4 or 5 of us in here. We'll do draft grades at the end of the show, depending on how my dogs are reacting. And if we meet the goal, all those things, we will hop in another draft after this. There we go. Let's see who's in here. Jake with the 2nd pick. Shout out Jake. He's on a hot streak now. Phantoms is in here. We have, I'm at 7. Dakota's at 9. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us in this draft. Hetzer, you can't. Are you in Florida, Hetzer? Is that why you can't join? Jake is hard as fuck. I'm gonna make sure everyone sees how hard Jake is. Jake, post a picture in the Discord, man. That's my rule. If you say you have a boner, we got to show it. You got to show your work. So it doesn't have to be your dick either. You could just show like a hogged out dude with like a 6-pack. I tried that once with a chick, and it didn't work well because I'm like 250 and I have a 6-inch dick, but I showed her like a 9-inch dick with a 6-pack, and I took my shirt off, and she's like, "Well, that's not you." I was like, "Hey, that was me in another life." Okay. All good, Hetzer. All good, Hetzer. Keep on grinding, bro. Yeah, I thought it wasn't allowed in Florida. I mean, dude, the weird thing is nothing should be banned in Florida. It's Florida. I mean, superhero movie when he's just got the biggest boner of all time. I'm also thinking of This Is the End with the devil's dick in that one. That ends up like taking advantage of Jonah Hill is a nice way to put it. All right, we are up in 1 pick, and it's probably going to be Joey B, Joe Burrow. And it's not going to be Joey B because it's gone, and it's gone. So we're just going to take Drake May, I guess. Not one of my favorite players to take at ADP. Did you show mouse body expo? Up in 10 picks. Okay, so we have 5 of us in here. This should be a fun time.
You're planting a baby monitor?
Yeah. A lot of people are bugging their babies these days. I guess babies can't be trusted.
What exactly is it you're expecting to find here?
A lot of shady shit.
Like what?
Like maybe Bruce is banging dudes.
Why would that be shady?
Maybe the dudes are babies.
What? Bruce is not banging any baby dudes. Look, we're...
All right. Jalen Hurts at 9. Jamar Chase at 8. Pretty standard stuff there. Puka at 10. Dakota with the Jalen Hurts poll. Are you high on? Do you like Jalen Hurts? I forget your opinion on Jalen Hurts. I know you hate Josh Allen. Dakota, what are your thoughts on Jalen Hurts? Are you as much of a hater? No, fantasy is different. I'm talking real life Jalen Hurts. Like franchise quarterback. Like, what do you think of Jalen Hurts? I'm on record saying I'd rather have Dak Prescott. That's just me. It sounds crazy to say, but not if you watch football. It's not. So I want to hear what Dakota's take is. Up in 2 picks. Oh, dude, Workaholics. The first season's epic, but there's a stretch like seasons 3, 4, and 5 are really good, and then the last season isn't very good. But big fan of Workaholics. They just ran out of ideas. You can only make so many dick jokes. I mean, that's why this show is going to end in like the next 3 months, probably. I've said my lifetime amounts, and they're not funny anymore, unfortunately. I'm just kidding. They're fucking funny, guys. So we have Justin Herbert. See, Blake, I actually think Adam is the least. God damn it. There goes Jackson Darts. Fuck me. I guess I'm going to take St. Brown and try to get Jared Goff, but they don't have the same bye, do they? Let's see here. Is that bye 11? We're good. Okay. I think that Blake is the funniest. Blake, I think you're the funniest. And actually, Durs is playing the straight man is probably the key to the show. All right, Dakota. Hey, we agree on a quarterback, Dakota. Everyone fucking just thank the heavens that me and Dakota agreed on a quarterback because I agree. I mean, fantasy will be value. He always is value, except for last year. But real life, it's product of the Eagles for sure. Well, I think Blake gets so much stuff written for him, and it's like he's supposed to be the funniest, right? Where in that order is kind of the way they do write it. But I actually think upon rewatch, like when you watch it more, like Anders is awesome as a straight man. Like the way he takes himself so serious. That's what the funniest part about Anders is he takes himself so serious, and he's with these two clowns. The There's one quote where they're getting evicted. It's it's the Ben Stiller episode. And they're getting evicted, and they're like, the night before they're gonna have to move out, they're like, man, I'm so bummed. I thought we were gonna like raise our families here. And Durs is like, wait, so you thought we were all gonna live here together in this like 3-bedroom house and all have wives and kids together? And they're like, yeah. And God, Workaholics is great. Up in 2 picks, and there goes Jared Goff. A couple picks before me. All right, whatever. We can make adjustments if needed. And I think Kyler Murray might be the adjustments, because I would have taken Barkley. Let's take Kyler here. I've not really taken a lot of Kyler. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember the first couple streams I did this year in Underdog, which is 2 months ago now. I took Kyler in like 5 or 6 straight drafts when he was all the way down like quarterback 25 before he got moved to the Vikings. And I have not taken him much since, because obviously the value isn't what it was. I still think he's value though. There is some risk though, and I don't believe in it because I don't think JJ McCarthy has a shot in hell to start that year. I think that he's actually not even the number 2. I think Carson Wentz is the number 2. But Kyler Murray with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson, let's go. Now, Adam is great in Righteous Gemstones. That's a show I've only seen the first season of, that it's just right up my alley, right? Like a religious parody of some crazy people. And John Goodman's in that. Isn't Danny McBride in that too? I get a little salty when I get disagreed with, but mostly just on LeBron. Love you, Dakota. Up in 5 picks. A little distracted tonight. Like I said, God damn it. I do that. Jesus. How do I get the size of this back up? I actually just started watching Eastbound and Down. I need to like actually finish these shows though. I'll start something, and even if it's great, I'll yeah, I'm starting that now, Blake. I know about it. I've seen like a lot of clips, but I am up. And Malik Willis, no. Jeremiah Love maybe. No. I guess we're gonna take. I don't like this, but we'll take Love. I've seen Land of the Lost, man. It's the first like 20 minutes of Land of the Lost is awesome, and then it just becomes like a bad Will Ferrell movie, in my opinion. All right, we are up in 9 picks. I wonder if I still have a Workaholics clip in here. I know I took a lot of them away. I have a short one.
It's years away, don't care. Jesus Christ. You ooze talent.
All right. I'm slacking on the board. Sorry about that, guys. I got dogs running all around me here. Travis Etienne off at 50. There goes Malik Neighbors at 51, which is 6 picks after his ADP. And it's already, his ADP is already like plummeting, by the way. But man, this is super flex, so it's a little different. But that's late, dude. Like London's going before him, Pickens is going before him. That's all pretty fair, I guess. Do I take a third quarterback way? Oh, I might have to do this. This is way after ADP. CJ Stroud. I don't love it, and he just goes. Okay. Cam Scatterbo, David Montgomery, She Rice. We have to take AJ Brown here. It's actually probably a good thing because I would have taken CJ Stroud just to take value at a third quarterback, but we'll take AJ Brown, pair him most likely with Drake May. This is super flex, Hetzer. So you could that would be equate to like the 30th pick in a normal one quarterback. Still, that's pretty late. Blake, I don't think your neighbor's pick is cooked necessarily, but we knew this going in. You knew it. It's just looking more ominous by the day. Like usually it's like no news is bad, but like we're actually just getting the opposite of no news or good news. We're getting bad news. And there's just not a lot there either, right? Like Isaiah likely needs to be drafted as a top 10 tight end, possibly. Like if you're gonna get that early season boom and he's on the fringe tight end ones, you're gonna get production early. He's gonna be number one. He's gonna be the number one. Oh, Dakota wants to take advantage of Blake's tears right now on his neighbor's pick and make a deal. What's the offer? What are you gonna give him? Drake London? Jake says, Rob, the guy behind you is all on the Bengals. Holy moly. Dude, I literally wanted to look behind me. I was like, there's a fucking guy behind me? Like, I'm home alone right now, guys. Like, I don't know if there's a fucking murderer behind me. But thank you. I would probably be too late. You guys see me get murdered on stream. I would go viral. The show would actually be a success. They'd be like, did you see that fucking guy streaming Underdog and he just got murdered on stream? Yes. Now, is it worth it? Do I want to sacrifice my life for the show? I don't know, man. That seems like a kamikaze move. So the guy behind me, let's take a little look here. He doesn't have Joe Burrow. So he's got Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, T. Higgins. That's wild. That's not good. So he's an idiot. Close combo. Okay, I got you. I don't want any inside information on your trades. I actually don't live in Chicago, though, and Chicago's actually not that bad. Dakota was just there. Tell him. Rasheed Rice falling. Cam Scatabo is there. We're going to take Cam Scatabo, I think. Why the hell not? Yeah, dude, I live in the suburbs of Chicago. It's about a 55 to an hour drive, hour or so, hour 40 train ride. But Chicago is not as bad as you guys think. Ask Dakota. He was just there. Dakota, did you get mugged and or assaulted? And look who hops in. Chi-Town till I die. Best city in the world, Chicago. I haven't been to that many other cities. So, I can't really speak on that. It is a fine city. I think it's definitely a lot cleaner than New York. A lot cheaper than New York. Blake, you know what? You got to rip the Band-Aid off. He said he's scared to trade in Dynasty. Just do your first one, right? Get it out of the way. And then it's just boom. And then you're going. Look at mouth. The drama regarding Soldier Field is the fact that Soldier Field is in an awful location. It's an awful stadium. It's really hard to get in and out of, and it's super old. So they need to move. Whether that's from the city, I don't want them to go to Indiana. Like there's other options, but we have, the reason it's called the Windy City, guys. If you don't know this, it's politics. It's not that windy here. The politics suck. Always have. So that's why it's called the Windy City, and that's why we're getting screwed right now on our stadium. Arlington Heights is probably the best of both worlds for everyone. I prefer that as well. Nothing there. Price, no. Glad. I'm probably going to take McLaurin. Let's take McLaurin. Say Flowers just got sniped from Jake. I'm sorry about that. Wisconsin's fun if you're trying to find a chick, don't find a Wisconsin chick. You know what they all look the same. They're about 220. They got that same old face with zero features, a couple rolls. They make really good cheese though, and they let you bang them in the butt. So there's some nice things about Wisconsin girls. We only have a couple experiences with Wisconsin girls, but we got Cruz in here. Thanks for the donation, Cruz. Appreciate you, man. Happy Friday, fellas. No plan Smith clocked at 115 miles an hour. NFL players need governors installed. or drivers. And actually, you know what? What's crazy about that, Cruz? The NFL offers a ride service. It's free, so they don't get fucking arrested and do dumb shit. They just don't like to take it. And I think the major reason is the NFL, they'll know, like the teams will know they were out at a certain time. So it's almost like, do you want your coach to know you're partying at 3 a.m. when you have practice in the morning? I'd rather have them know that than find out in the paper. You know what I'm saying? Up in a couple picks here, and there is some value on the board somewhere. DJ Moore looks nice, but Tyler Warren looks nicer at pick. Yep, we're going to take Tyler Warren. I'm just grabbing value here, gentlemen. So we have Drake May, Kyler Murray, Jeremiah Love, Cam Scatterbo, St. Brown, A.J. Brown, the Browns, Terry McLaurin, and Tyler Warren. Pretty balanced squad so far. I'd like to get a third quarterback, but I'm not going to reach for it. Like I tell people in these Superflex leagues. Again, thank you, Cruz. We've missed you, man. How you been? I know Cruz is ready for a real football season. But what I tell people in these Superflex leagues, advancement rate is way higher if you take 3 quarterbacks. But the teams that actually cash big money typically roll 2 quarterbacks, and their quarterbacks stay healthy, and they get some luck, and they have big games in the playoffs, fantasy playoffs. That is how you win. So it's like you want to play it safe and take a third quarterback. Yes, it's probably smart, but you're not going to win because there's going to be a team with two quarterbacks, one that they get pretty late that goes nuclear, and they will win the tournament because they'll have a more filled out roster. Nolan Smith. I was trying to read that. It said no plan Smith. Yeah, Nolan Smith. I don't know what these guys are doing, man. I mean, the Rashee Rice situation is just fucking stupid. Like, that guy is costing himself so much money. And, like, Brandon Ayuk thing is probably even dumber because the fact he's, like, he didn't report last year, and he's, like, literally costing himself money just by being a fucking idiot. But Rashee Rice he can't, like, stay out of trouble. Like, you're on probation for 5 years. And, like, the thing is, if Rashee Rice, I think if he violates his probation one more time in the next 5 years, he's going to, like, prison. And are we going to trust him not to? So if you take him in Dynasty, there's a chance he's out of the league. This could be a Josh Gordon situation. Jordan Tyson, DK Metcalf. Oh, my guy. Blake Corum. Yes. Yeah, 135. Yeah, I mean, it's the same shit. Henry Ruggs. Chi-Town, I'm definitely of age to drink, but I appreciate you saying not sure how old I am, because that would imply that you might think I'm under 21. So I appreciate that, dude. I am definitely over 21. I am fat and out of shape. I'm 38, and yet New Glarus is pretty goddamn good. I don't like the Spotted Cow. I think that's overrated, but they have some IPAs that are really good. So I have a couple buddies that live by the border, and they have brought me some beer in the past. It's good shit. Every time I go up there, I load up on a bunch of 12-packs. MVP says the guy next to you has a 1 quarterback build and snipe Tate for me. Yeah, he has Justin Herbert. That's the guy that has, what is this guy doing? A&G. What is he doing? I got to look his team up. And he has 2 tight ends. He takes Loveland and Brock Bowers. Dude, last place. No point. Like, donate your money, bro. Unfortunately, he's fucking up some of our stuff, so we don't like that. Up in 2 picks. Up in 1 pick. There goes Kenny Gainwell. We're going to have to go ahead and take Jordan Addison here for stacking purposes. So we now have A.J. Brown most likely with Drake May, and Jordan Addison with Kyler Murray. We're going to need 1 more guy from each team, ideally. Rashee Rice is the simple jack of May. Yeah, man, it's looking like that.
Simple Jack, the story of a mentally impaired farmhand who can talk to animals, was a box office disaster that many critics called one of the worst movies of all time.
Got a good brain.
That think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You make me happy.
But now the question is, can speed...
Rashee Rice is not making Chiefs fans happy. And also, he's spitting in his teammates' face who all wear that shirt, free number 4, when last year when they suspended him, and that was Travis Kelce. I don't know if Mahomes was, but really making those guys regret those shirts, right? And letting your teammates down, letting your city down, letting yourself down with the financial stuff. Dude, just fucking save your crimes and your dumbass shit for after you retire. You're probably not going to be in the league long. You're a wide receiver that is not elite in my mind in terms of talent. He's good, very good, but not elite. He'll be out of the league by 30, right? Even if there's no off the field stuff. So you have 5 years, dude, after this to just be fine and then fucking murder someone. Pull an OJ. I don't care. Up in one pick. Better figure out who I'm taking here. JCM looks pretty tasty. But let's take Jacoby Myers. Kind of a stupid pick. I don't have a lot of Jacoby Myers. I do like my running back room. It's probably a dumb pick. Yeah, that was definitely a dumb pick. What am I doing? I blame Rashee Rice for that pick because I was distracted. So, and there goes Deshaun Watson. You know what, Dakota? Your Deshaun Watson shares are just looking better by the seconds. And I'm going to allow a giant victory lap from Dakota when it happens. Been hearing some buzz about A.J. Brown to the Jags for Brian Thomas. I think it makes both fantasy viable. Hurts, better deep ball. T-Law will throw slants. And yeah, dude, it would probably be, I'm trying to think. I think that would make more sense for the Eagles because they're in win now mode, but I think it would have to be Brian Thomas and like a third rounder, right? Because I think they want a second rounder from the Patriots, which I think is highway robbery. But that makes more sense. I wouldn't like that for either guy, though. I feel like A.J. Brown has more value on the Patriots, and I feel like Brian Thomas will have more value on the Jags. There goes Carson back. Tyrone Tracy's staring at me here, which, man, I already have Cam Scatterbo. Dakota, we were trying to work out a trade. That fell through, and I told him the stream's at 10:30, so just make their pick. He has not been able to get a hold of Tom TD. That's one of the issues with this son of a bitch takes Worthy. We're going to take Golden. That's one of the issues with having a lot of co-managed teams, right? Like a lot of us are wanting to confide in our partners and make sure the pick's good. So that's been the holdup on a few of our picks. I think we've been pretty decent with the time on ours. Jake says, hey, watch y'all's mouth about Rashee Rice. He's going to be great after his 10-game suspension. It won't be 10 games. It'll be like 4. And he'll probably be great. The problem is the biggest issue with Rashee Rice right now is he's going to jail for 30 days. That's for sure. He just had he had surgery on his knee, right? I didn't want to say that word. Surgery on his knee. He can't rehab properly in jail. So that's going to delay the 2-month recovery to 3 months. I think he'll still be fine by the regular season if it comes to that, if he's not suspended. But there's just always so many moving parts with Rashee Rice. And, he's never played a full season, right? Even his rookie year, he played, but he wasn't the starter until like week 6. So we don't have a single complete year from Rashee Rice. And he just gets drafted so high because he's with the Chiefs. And I'm not that high on the Chiefs. So we have our guy here. We need a running back. This is going to be a 2-quarterback team, unfortunately. And we're going to take Shaheed. So the wide receiver room might be done after that. I'm going to have to pound some late running backs, and we're going to be good to go. I'm pretty salty. I took Jacoby Myers over Xavier Worthy. That was a silly pick by me, but I think I made up with it with a couple high upside, boom week guys there in Matthew Golden and Rashid Shaheed. Hatcher says if A.J. Brown went to the Jags, then what would New England do for a wide receiver? Bring Diggs back? Most likely. But unfortunately, Diggs just he doesn't fit with Romeo Doubs is also kind of overlapping skill sets as well with Pop Douglas there. So they needed a big X receiver outside. They need that. And Diggs is not that anymore. He never was even in his prime, but he definitely is a slot receiver and a part-time player now. Cruz, Brian Thomas let down everyone. Not me. I had 0 shares in Brian Thomas in 36 redraft leagues last year. I did trade for him, but he actually still let me down because I traded for him week 9. And I got him for literally 25 cents on the dollar, and he still let me down. So think about it. I got him for way less than what he, obviously end of the first, early second round pick to start the year. And I got him for nothing. I'm trying to think who I traded for him. It wasn't anyone great. And that player outperformed Brian Thomas. And I thought I destroyed him in that deal. But this is the time to buy Brian Thomas, guys. I mean, what's changed? Now Travis Hunter's probably playing defense. Yeah, they have Jacoby Myers now, but what's changed? Why was he a top 14 pick last year? And now why is he going 60, right? Because he let people down and he sucked last year, but let's also remember his rookie year, which was all time. And that was with Mac Jones. I get it, but this is how we make money in fantasy, taking depreciated assets and turning them into gold. Ooh, I could take either of these guys. But I think I'm going to take the guy I trust more, Mr. TJ Hawkinson. And we'll take a late Patriots receiver to end the draft. The Jags don't know what the hell they're doing with Travis Hunter, man. It's like a lesbian having sex with a guy for the first time. She's like, I don't know what to do with this fucking thing. And unfortunately, the Jags shouldn't have drafted a dick. I'm not saying anything against Travis Hunter personally. You get the reference. I just think they need to choose a side, and the better side is offense because he's not a good corner. I'm sorry, I didn't see it in college. He's a ball hawk, but just getting interceptions and making big plays does not make you a good corner, guys. It makes you an impactful corner, but that also means you're going to get burned a lot. In the NFL, getting burned for a 60-yard touchdown is much more detrimental to the team than getting an interception. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a pick six, no, don't gamble, man. Just actually break up the pass. That's the goal. That's what you should be doing. Yeah, I know what you meant, David. I know what you meant. And you know what? You can call me an idiot. You just don't call my people idiots, okay? You can call me an idiot. I can take it. You heard the term that people can take a punch. I can take an insult. And pretty thick skin here. That's the thing. I'm actually not fat. It's just all thin. It's all skin. Not saggy skin, though. Saggy skin's the fucking worst. This is getting real rough here. Real rough. We need some upside at running back. So we're going to take Zach Charbonnet. I hate this pick, but I have some ways to make her work. I would say 2 to 4. 2 might be a little too light, Jake. They're not going to slap him because he's a repeat offender now. And I think what we're all forgetting is I know the allegations, and he still has a court date, a civil court date for the domestic thing that they threw. The NFL has said they're done with their investigation, but that's still popped up, right? So now it's a third strike in my mind. And I would say 4 minimum, 3 or 4 minimum with 5 or 6 maximum. 10 is just crazy stuff. That's what you give to Ray Rice or Colin Kaepernick, because Colin Kaepernick beat a bunch of women. Oh, wait, no, he knelt. Disrespectful, yes. But I don't think that Kaepernick deserved to be blackballed from the NFL. That's just my personal belief. Not to bring politics into it too much, but who cares about an athlete's politics anyway? They're all generally morons. Colin Kaepernick's definitely a moron. He grew up in the suburbs. That dude is your that dude's your spokesperson. He's as white as I am. Until he had the fro. I'm saying if you saw Colin Kaepernick on the side of the street, you'd be like, that's an Italian dude. You wouldn't say that's a brother. So yeah, just strange stuff there. We are up again. I need upside at running back, and we're gonna. What do I do? Emmanuel Wilson, or do I go? I'm gonna go the upside shot here in Tank Bigsby. We're going to win this tournament. I'm gonna go with an elite handcuff. A guy I think could have some standalone value in blowouts. Tank Bigsby averaged like 7 yards a carry last year. Wild, wild stuff. I love Tank Bigsby. Also love Saquon Barkley.
What is happening here?
I haven't any idea, honestly.
I'm giving Frank a handy under the table.
That is true. Look, Snail, back off, because you're just mashing it now. It's not...
For God's sakes, Gail.
Mom, I'm sexually active now. Get over
You're
it.
33 years old. You're supposed to be sexually active. You're not supposed to be fondling your uncle under a table.
Whoa, we're not blood related.
He was coming alive. Cruz is mentioning Travis Hunter has untapped potential, and he was starting to come alive. The one game that his 100-yard game, the first game he scored a touchdown in, and let's just make sure we go beyond the box scores, what we do on this channel. That was in that London game against the Rams when Brian Thomas got hurt, and he had 6 of his 8 catches and 80 yards of his 100 yards or whatever it was in the second half in a blowout. So I'm not saying he didn't have those yards, but they were down by 3 touchdowns. He was looking better, I'll say that, but I'm not a big Travis Hunter guy. David says, will Thornton be good this year with the Raiders? You know what? If you ask the fantasy football counselor, I wonder if he still likes Dante Thornton. That was his one of his takes in short says he's going to have a better year than Brock Bowers. And Brock Bowers had an awful year, was hurt. And Brock Bowers still had like 5 times as many receptions as him. No, Dante Thornton was never going to be a thing. He's a Tennessee receiver. I think Dante Thornton had 30 total or 50 total receptions in college for his career. So not a Dante Thornton bro here. Cade Otton. Oh, David Njoku. Let's take Cade Otton. Finish the tight end room. It's a pretty gross tight end room. So no, I don't think Dante Thornton's anything. I'm much more interested in Jack Besh. I think Jack Besh is, I saw the crazy stat of wide receiver rooms, how much they're getting paid, like per team. The Raiders' total wide receiver room is $7.2 million. They're paying the wide receiver position. Just insane stuff. And Jack Besh was a second round pick in 2024 draft, maybe third. Someone, Blake, if you want to check that for me, I think it was second. The heavy personnel cruise is definitely good for the running game. And what I think also helps is the field position. Starting every drive at 35, you have teams playing for 4th downs, right? Getting it to 4th and short. So that's just extra touches for the running backs. And you see it, you just see teams playing light boxes. You see teams playing light personnel, a lot of nickel, a lot of dime. And you have fresh running backs because everyone's running a committee. They just run the ball. You get 5 yards of carry. The Chiefs were getting all the advantages. They still do get a lot of advantages. I think the Chief thing is kind of run its course. So Sean Tucker. Wow. This is gross. So let's take Malachi Fields. That's going to be a good pick. Dakota says, lots of controversial takes tonight, Rob. Wife away and Rob will play. Even if she can hear me in the next room, there's no hiding what I say. And I say this shit at like Thanksgiving dinner, guys. You can ask my mom or my dad. They'll, you know me at this point. Like there's no filter. And don't leave me alone to my own devices. And when I do these streams solo, I can just get on tangents and, I don't have to worry. Not that I worry about my co-hosts' like opinions or like them being offended or anyone getting offended, because I think that's soft stuff. Like everyone's entitled to their opinion, and we can also agree to disagree. That's one of the nice things. My dad says this about me and Storey, that we agree to disagree pretty nicely, right? Like we're unfortunately I love Big Ray, but he won't let it go, and it's going to become like a personal attack, which is also some very good theater, right? And I think both are viable, right? I prefer the peaceful, if you're not going to convince the other person, then no one should be trying to convince anyone. It's just more like giving more information out there and giving your point of view is the biggest thing. Then what's the point of even having the conversation, I guess, is my thing. Someone overdrafted Judy. People are wising up. I know you wanted that Judy stack, Dakota. You wanted it, and there's a lot of sniping going on in this draft. Like a lot of sniping. Kids back on the escalator.
That kid is back on the escalator again. Remarkable. That's criminal. That kid is back on the escalator again.
Leave it alone.
What?
Jake Tungus, that's a good pick by Jake. So we need one more running back. I think I know who it's going to be. It's going to be a bum, that's for sure. I need one more. There's no quarterback worth taking. No. Actually, there is one that I actually like. So I might go with a one stack. Let's see the running back room. You know what? I might roll with this running back room here. So we're going to go ahead and take a gross pick in Cade Klubnik, who I think will start the end of the year. I mean, I don't know for sure. Let's take a nasty Cade Klubnik pick. Guys, after this, draft grades coming at you. A through F, maybe F minus, maybe A plus. A through F on everyone in the community drafting in this league. Let us know your thoughts. Who had the best team? What they fucked up, what they did well. We could take the heat. We can take the heat. Generally, Jake, now the thing is, some of these random people are making some pretty good picks, but the more people we have in here from the community drafting, you know, it's the sharper the room's going to be. We're just thinning out the player pool of players we all kind of like. And generally, when we like a player, we like them for a reason. So, so do I take a shit running back? I know what I'm going to do. Do I know what I'm going to do? I don't know if I need a running back or a wide receiver. Am I comfortable with this wide receiver room? St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Addison, Myers, Golden, Shaheed, Fields. I think I am. I don't know why the goal isn't registering, Dakota. It's just not. You guys can see it. I don't know why it's not registering because it's clicking down here and it's just not registering. So, and I don't have that kind of power here. It's not like the sleeper drafts we have. Oh, am I comfortable going into this draft with only one Drake May stack? I do have two Kyler stacks. So this is a very lightly stacked team. I need to cover my ass. And someone takes James Conner. The fuck, man. So I guess we're going to go ahead and take, if I can find him, Kyle Williams. I hate it. Dumb pick. We'll see. I think this team's okay. It says light blue. Well, it's always light blue or above. So anything that it says, it's light blue or above, right? Because yours didn't register either. Really weird. Really weird. We got Dakota on a crowd fund sourcing. Crowdsourcing, is that the word? Crowdsourcing. Malik Davis, you know what? Whoa, we have an N-bomb dropped. I can't put them on the screen, but what's going on? Astonish 4449. How you doing, dude? I am white. That is for sure. But you know what? You can never tell because this dude I'm about to show you also looks white. And we know he's not. So, for all you know, I did something to my scanner, you know, whatever the disease is, who knows. So, you never know. Don't judge a book by its cover, I guess, is the point there. Let's shout out to Rasheed Rice here. There's Rasheed Rice just running away from the cops. Let's get into some draft grades here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Whenever I hear someone say that, I think of Hangover with Stu. What the fuck is going on? And then he sings the awesome Tiger song. Good song. All right, Sunday Thunder first up. We have Josh Allen, Bo Nix, Geno Smith. That's a really, really nice quarterback room, dude. Really nice quarterback room. Breece Hall, Javonte Williams, RJ Harvey, Woody Marks, Alvin Kamara, Ray Davis, and Braylon Allen. Pretty good running back room. CeeDee Lamb, Ted McMillan, Alec Pierce, Khalil Shakir, Jalen Naylor, Adonai Mitchell, and Troy Franklin, with George Kittle, Jake Ferguson, and Dawson Knox. Wow. It's a fucking great team. So I have to go through and just pick some nits with the team first and foremost. I hate Troy Franklin, but I get why you took him because you have Bo Nix. I get why you took Dawson Knox as well, because you need another stack with Josh Allen. I would much rather have had you take Jake Tunges on this team. I know he already was gone at that point, and you probably want to take Adonai Mitchell, which is a nice stack with Geno Smith. Jake Tunges, the tight end room could be an issue if George Kittle misses more time. So I think you're kind of leaving yourself up for a little bit of risk there. That would have been like the main thing I'm looking at. And I feel like 7 running backs is fair with the squad, with RJ Harvey as your 3. I love Woody Marks. Love Ray Davis. Braylon Allen's a nice backup for Breece Hall. Wide receiver room's a little thin, but Alec Pierce is in for a big, oh man, Jake Tunges got taken 1 pick before me. Well, there you go. I like Jalen Naylor. Shakir is such a value, and Alec Pierce is fine for your 3. And you can start 2 wide receivers in this team. I think this is better than a C+, Dakota. I don't love the tight end room, but Dawson Knox is going to catch. What did he catch last year? 4 touchdowns? 4 touchdowns last year. 6 in 2022. That's when he was more of a full-time player. But I am still not confident that we're ever going to see Dalton Kincaid play any. You know, Dalton Kincaid averaged like a 38% snap share last year, and he was that dominant. So I just prefer that would be Tunges, and then Troy Franklin I absolutely hate. So I almost wish you had gone with, if you got Tunges, you could have gone with Keon Coleman or something. I prefer him or Skylar Bell paired up with Josh Allen. Another stack with Josh Allen. But I get what you're doing here. I'm going to give this one a B+. I really like this team. Am I crazy? Dakota, what do you hate about this team? You have C+. Because the running back room looks a little thin, but you have two studs there, workhorses. RJ Harvey's an X factor. We love Woody Marks. And then after that, Kamara will get some work if he plays. Ray Davis is probably the best handcuffs in football, and Braylon Allen gives you insurance for Breece Hall, plus some, possible standalone value. And yeah, the receivers are a little weak and the tight ends are a little weak, but I love the quarterback room is awesome. Like Bo Nix and Geno Smith. This isn't like, let's not forget, guys. Bo Nix has Jalen Waddle now. I know Jalen Waddle is probably going to play 12 games, but this is a good team. I got B+. What else do you guys have for grades before I move on? And Dakota, let me know why you have C+ for Derek's team. I really dig this squad. Well, you needed a tight end, Derek, so I'm glad you did go him over the wide receiver. For me, B- would have been Coleman stack, K stack with Knox. Sports, I do believe in Geno. He's got a good situation. Like last year was the worst situation for any quarterback in the league. I mean, literally Pete Carroll was just taking a paycheck. The offensive line coach of the Raiders was Pete Carroll's son, which, and I don't call him by his name because I don't know what his name is. I don't know if he has a name. Literally, it was just like, that was what it said. And like, when you look at the team, like the coaching staff, it just says Pete Carroll's son. Like that, like think of what they had last year. And again, their offensive line coach, Pete Carroll's son. All right. B- from Jake. Yeah, I'm still sticking with my B+ because I love this quarterback room and I love the build. I don't like the Knox pick, but it made sense. I'm glad you took that. You can't roll with a 2 tight end build with George Kittle. You just can't. No, I get it. I understand. It's like easy. It's easy to say it's the Jets and they suck. That's the easy argument to make, and that's actually probably the right argument. And if you hear Mouth in this program, he also is a New York guy, but he is so high on Geno. He's not. It's not a hot take in his mind that Geno Smith's a top 10 quarterback in fantasy. It's like his take. It's not like hot take day, which he does have a lot of hot takes, but he's like very confident in it. I think there's like a 30% chance, where you're getting him in drafts is value. Come on, Garrett Wilson. I love Adonai Mitchell, Omar Cooper, Kenyon Sadiq, which I hated the pick, but Mason Taylor, Breece Hall. In the offensive line has continuity, so I like it. Yeah, I get it. I just personally love this team. So we're gonna go on to Jake's team though. And I see why you could rate a C+ too. I'm not saying this is like a bulletproof team by any stretch. I just really like the quarterbacks, and I think Geno is such a nice 3. We got Jake's team here with the second pick. Shout out Jake for having the second pick. That's what's up. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Jacoby Brissett. This is a very similar build. I feel like Brissett and Geno are ideal for that third quarterback spot where you're getting them. I trust in Geno playing more games, if that makes sense, because I feel like, Carson Beck had a higher draft capital, and Cade Klubnik's terrible, even though I drafted Cade Klubnik. Let's take that aside here. Brissett has a chance to get benched at the end of the season, where I think Geno might be his job all year. And I think there's a chance the Jets are irrelevant. There's no chance this Cardinal team wins over 6 games. That division is too hard. But that being said, I love this quarterback room. Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, Ramondre Stevenson, Chris Rodriguez, Tyrone Tracy, Emmanuel Wilson. Wowzers, man. Tyrone Tracy, 10 picks after ADP. I feel like you could have ended it there, but Emmanuel Wilson is fine after ADP as well. Drake London, Rashee Rice, Marvin Harrison, Jalen Coker, Jalen McMillan, the Jalen's, Isaac Tesla, Trey Harris, and Elijah Surratt. Love that stack late with Lamar. Mark Andrews, Jake Tunges, and Terrence Ferguson. Woo! Let's see. This is second marriage to the Jets. You know what? Usually the second marriage does go better because, you know what I mean? Like in real life, because like, why are you getting back together? And if it doesn't work, then those guys, then they're both clowns. Sports Jazz, I'm a Seahawks fan who truly believed in Geno. And then we got Darnold, who has surprisingly had less confidence in them. And when we acquired Geno. So Geno was fine for you guys. But the thing is, Geno is 3 years older now than what he was in his last good year with the Seahawks. Beck looks good in shorts so far at OTAs. He looked good in the combine too, the throwing drills, but Beck's terrible. But I still, that being said, like Cade Klubnik is like a project where Carson Beck is at least somewhat of a pro-ready guy. Okay, so this team, Andrews, Tunges, Terrence Ferguson, love the tight end room for what it is. I like the receivers. I really like this team too. Am I going to like everyone's team? Maybe I'm just in a good mood or something, but this is a great team too. This is very similar to the last team. I like the skill position players better on this one. What do you guys think? Do you guys have a grade for this team? I'll scroll through it again. London, Rashee Rice. This is Jake's team. Coker as a 4, McMillan as a 5, Tesla, Trey Harris, and Elijah Surratt. So with Patty Mahomes, you have Rashee Rice, and that's it. Lamar Jackson. So this team is not it doesn't have a lot of stacks. Mark Andrews and Surratt with Lamar. Brissett, you're looking at Marvin Harrison. That's nice. So pretty well-constructed team. I'm going to probably give this one the same grade, even though maybe I got to lower Derek's grade just because I like this team more, but I can't give this an A. So I'm going to go B, solid B for Derek. I'm going to go B+ for this team looking at it because this is just a better constructed team. And I don't have a question marks because you have Jake Tunges. And very similar, I think it's a Jake Tunges thing. And it's wild to say that one player could swing it. MVP says B- from Dakota. Darnold is a Super Bowl champ, and he's still getting slighted a little bit in terms of people's real-life quarterback ranks, fantasy ranks, and I guess we'll see. No, this team has some risk because of Rashee Rice, right? Like, we don't know, but I love Kenneth Walker, ETN. Tyrone Tracy is the rug that ties this room together, if you ask me. And again, good quarterback room. So I like this team. We're going to Phantom's team. We got MVP in here. Another good quarterback room. Brock Purdy, Matt Stafford, and Cam Ward. Bijan, Kyron, Kyle Monangai, Nick Singleton, and Mike Washington. With Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, Parker Washington, Josh Downs, Michael Wilson, Wan'Dale Robinson, Zachariah Branch, and Malik Washington. With a 4 tight end build, Kenyon City, Gunnar Helm, Mike Gesicki, and Max Clare. Man, I don't know why you took Mike Gesicki. That's you didn't need that pick. Yeah, dude. So I love this team, and it just got away from you because the running back room is thin, but I don't hate it because I'm a Singleton guy. But the running back room is thin. I like the quarterbacks. Cam Ward's the best 3 we've seen. And the wide receivers, I know what you had to take 8 just because Josh Downs is your 4, Parker is your 3. I understand that. But Gesicki and Max Clare, like, when you don't have you have a rookie, and then I like Gunnar Helm, but you have 4 guys, but like I don't know how many points you're going to get weekly at tight end, which I know isn't the end of the world, but what do you guys think? After looking at the last couple teams, I do like a lot of the things you did here and a lot of the players you drafted, but like, why did you take Malik Washington? I guess 213. I feel like that was a spot to take a better tight end than Gesicki, right? And take someone late. So no, I love Max Clare. Like it's just such a muddy situation. Like I hope he does, but if they keep all the guys, like what is Max Clare's snap share going to look like? Is he going to, as a rookie, ascend to take routes away from even Tyler Higbee, right? So it just hinges on Kenyon Sadiq a lot, which I don't hate the gamble. I wish there was, like I'm a Terrence Ferguson fan personally. And then I don't hate the Claire. I think the Gesicki pick, because you don't have Burrow and the wide receiver room being a little bit thin. I guess you do have Matt Stafford, so that makes sense with Max Clare. Cam Ward with, God, this is another team that needs Tungus. Like I keep on saying this, I'm a huge Tungus guy because you have Brock Purdy especially, but he's getting like in these rooms, Jake Tungus gets fucking sniped all the time because we all love Jake Tungus just for what he gives you potentially in the first 5 weeks. Trying to think about this team because Mike Evans and Devontae Adams so old, but they're touchdown machines. They might both score 12 touchdowns. How many games do they play? I do like backing them up with Parker Washington and Josh Downs and Michael Wilson and Wando Robinson, right? Like those guys are your steady producers with your high upside touchdown guys. And then Branch and Washington. I feel like you shouldn't have taken Washington. I'm going to go C+ for this team. As much as I love the quarterback room and I love the running back room, like Kyle Mononga is a 3, and I'm a big Nick Singleton fan. Just some question marks at running back, and the tight end room I just can't get over. I really can't get over it. And at least you have 4. So I think you did fit in terms of like the construction of this roster, you needed to take 4 and you hit that mark. So Dakota says C-. What else do you guys have? And MVP, what do you have a grade for your team? I want to see how off we are, how off I am. As much open-minded as you can for your team. It's hard to grade teams also, just so you know. It is hard. I try to be fair on my own grades and pick my, nitpick my teams, but it's also like we just made these picks. So like, it's hard for me to be like, well, I made a mistake there because I just made the pick, you know what I mean? And we all just made the pick. So it's a lot easier to grade other people's teams, even though it's not that easy because we all like different players and we all have different strategies, right? C to C- from Derek. So I would guess MVP is going to give this one a B- or a B. We'll see what he says. Let's go on to my team, and Dakota's team is last. C+. I didn't like the second half of my draft. It was going so well. The Snipes, bro. The Snipes. Wesley Snipes. I've also made this pretty apparent on the show, guys. When the show makes it and I start balling, or at least being able to pay my bills without taking out of my savings every month, I'm going to dress like Wesley Snipes in the 90s. You're going to see like large-ass suits, top hats, chains. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to have a whole new fucking persona. Hopefully you guys still like me then. All right, let's go to my squad here. We have Drake May, Kyler Murray, and Cade Klubnik. Gross. I just wanted to get a third guy in there. I was pretty comfortable going with 2 quarterbacks here. It's aggressive. Jeremiah Love, Cam Scatterbo, Blake Corum, Zach Charbonnet, and Tank Bigsby. This is a risky running back room. I will say that, mostly because the slow start potential of Jeremiah Love and Cam Scatterbo. But I think Blake Corum is going to be a solid. I'm the biggest Corum fan. I think me and Jake are the biggest Corum fans ever. St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Jordan Addison, Jacoby Myers, Matthew Golden, Rashid Shaheed, Malachi Fields, and Kyle Williams. With Tyler Warren, T.J. Hawkinson, and Cade Otton. So in terms of stacks, we only have potentially A.J. Brown and Kyle Williams stacked with Drake May. With Kyler, we have Jordan Addison and T.J. Hawkinson. And Cade Klubnik, we don't have anything with him because he's terrible, and I don't know why I picked him. I really wish I should have taken Xavier Worthy instead of Jacoby Myers, and then I would have had Worthy, Golden, and Shaheed. Those are more, like, I guess Jacoby Myers, I just don't know what he's going to offer me on this team. That was a bad pick. Although I don't hate Jacoby Myers, I just don't know when's he going to find my lineup. That was my big regret of this draft. And I was doing a rant about fucking Rashee Rice, and Rashee Rice cost me money now. He's costing himself money. He's costing me money. God damn it. I do think the construction's pretty good. I don't mind the tight end room with Tyler Warren, and Kate Otten's really the only show in town there at tight end. And then, Dakota hates this team. I'm here for it because the running back room is rough. So I don't like the running back room, and the 2 quarterbacks is an issue. I have a feeling a couple of people in here are going to like this team more than that. I'm trying to think what grade I would give it because it's pretty aggressive team. Just it's not like a bulletproof really anywhere outside of wide receiver. I think because I have 9 of them, but that's not really a reason to say it's bulletproof. Very risky. Yeah, I just kind of went all in with Tank Bigsby. At this point, I was like, fuck it. Zach Charbonnet's not coming back for a while. Let's just go for the moon on this team. And I think there's some pretty big upside if the quarterbacks stay healthy, and there's a lot of ifs. A lot of ifs in this team. Not my best squad. I'll be the first one to admit that one. We'll move on. No more looking at that team. Let's go to Dakota's team here. Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, 15 picks after ADP. 18 picks after ADP. C-, C. Wow. I don't think I've ever had a unanimous in the C's on my team. So, yeah, you know what? It's not a good team. I still stand by most of the picks, and I think it has a chance. But it's most likely going to miss the playoffs, and that's not how I like the draft. So, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, and Deshaun Watson, Mr. Handjob himself. Really good quarterback room there. I'm starting to warm on Deshaun Watson being the starter, but I still think it's a 50-50 proposition, but maybe I'm the only one in the world that thinks that. Derrick Henry, Marion Hampton, David Montgomery, Jonah Coleman, Kamani Badal, and Caleb Johnson. You love Caleb Johnson. That running back room is sexy, dude. David Montgomery is your 3. Devonta Smith, Jamison Williams, Brian Thomas, Mekhi Lemon, Travis Hunter, Denzel Boston, Dontavian Wicks, with 4 tight ends, Harold Fannin, Dallas Goedert, Brenton Strange, and Eli Stowers. I think you can get away with 4 tight ends because I don't see an issue with your running back room, and David Montgomery is awesome. Maybe I wish someone better. Jonah Coleman should score some touchdowns. Brian Thomas is your 3. Lemon is your 4. So I think I would have preferred one more wide receiver there in between Lemon and Hunter just to play it super safe. And you can get away with not having 4 tight ends, right? I know you did it for the stacking purposes. You have both Philly tight ends and then Brenton Strange. I think that's going to take it away from like the A+ range, because if you had taken, let's call it Matthew Golden, let's call it Xavier Worthy, let's call it Shaheed. One of those big play upside receivers there in between Lemon and Hunter, and only went with 3 tight ends. I think that would give this team a higher upside. But yeah, I'm going to go A-, I think, for this team. It's a really good team. I'm going to go A- just because the issue with wide receiver room, and it's very stack heavy, but that can go wrong. And I don't see the reason for 4 tight ends. I do for the stacking purposes, but the build just isn't perfect. Even though you pulled it off when you didn't need to, you did pull it off pretty well. A- for me. Derek says B. Yeah, I super stacked this team. Wanted to see how it turned out. It turned out well. I mean, my dude, Mouth, what's going on, brother man? How you doing? B+, B+. I didn't see you here. I got to get to Mouth's comment here. Dynasty League be popping. Join the Discord. Y'all need to get in the fucking Patreon so you can get in the action. Fanatics Leagues be popping. Yeah, gentlemen, we have the first 2. We're doing the Dynasty League right now, the slow draft to start up right now. But we have 2 redraft league signups going, are already up. So we're going to do a lot more than 2. We'll see what the number is, depending on how many people want to play. But get in now. Get your spot locked up in those Dynasty or in those redraft leagues. Ricky, where does Neighbors Dynasty value stand now after all the news? Is Blake still in here? Because he took him. So we can just go and consult the board here. So I think we all love this team. I think Dakota probably had the best team. Everyone had a really good team. I think me and MVP probably had the weakest teams. So let's go to the board here. And Blake took Malik Neighbors. This is a full PPR. You can start 5 receivers in this league too. 12-team league, really deep. He took Malik Neighbors at the 10 spot. And I didn't hate it. We originally had the 9th pick, and I traded back to 12 and 13. I was going to be comfortable taking Neighbors at the 1-2 turn, right? Just because he's 22 years old, but that would almost be not punting the year, but you don't want to start off with a guy you have question marks on, right? What do you guys think about the dynasty value? No, I think Blake just took the pick because it is the proper pick. Malik Neighbors is 22. If there was no knee injury, guys, I'm taking Malik Neighbors over St. Brown. I'm taking Malik Neighbors over Genty. I'm taking Malik Neighbors over Justin Jefferson. I'm taking Malik Neighbors 6th overall in dynasty startup if there was no knee injury, especially being tied to Jackson Dart and having an adult in the room at coach. Not so much offensive coordinator. We'll get to that later, but it's a tough one, man. It's tough. And I feel like in dynasty, it's less risky than it is in redraft, right? Because he will be fine eventually. He's 22. In redraft, if he tanks your season and he doesn't play, even if it's an end of the 3rd round, or sorry, end of the 2nd round, early 3rd round, it's going to be tough to come back from that. Cruz, I have him and Chase, but I was considering trading him for Tate and Scat or Marvin. Dude, I am not trading low on Malik Neighbors right now. Like, no way, bro. Carnell Tate's, obviously, I'm a little biased. I think Carnell Tate's pretty trash. I love his landing spot, but like Carnell Tate is not, like Malik Neighbors is an elite NFL receiver, and he has the potential to be a Jamar Chase level player. I'm sorry, Carnell Tate's not going to be a Jamar Chase level player. He'll be a Marvin Harrison level player, which I still have hope for Marvin Harrison, but yeah, no. So I'm not trading Malik Neighbors. I want a bag for Malik Neighbors for sure. Keep them. Keep Neighbors. Anyways, anyone in here interested, want to support the show, joining the community, want to join the community, you should also, guys, you should check out Downtown Sports. Link in the description for that, or just go to YouTube. They're on YouTube, 23 other platforms. Search Downtown Sports. If you like the NBA, they talk a lot of NBA. Whatever's current, they're talking once or twice a week. So check out that program. Link in the description. Give them a like, give them a follow, give them a sub, and just give them a chance, and you're going to like them because I like them, and we all like them because Mal's awesome. So check that out. Also, I just want to shout out to all the Patreon guys in here, whether they're in here, whether they're supporting me, not watching the show tonight. You guys are awesome, keeping me afloat and supporting the show. We appreciate that. If you're interested, it is a good way to support the show, but there's a lot of other perks. Okay. You get guest appearances on the show if you'd like to come on, if you want to be a professional fanatic. You get access to the Discord, which is the community, which is the place to be. You get access to the redraft leagues, the community leagues. You get access to my bets. You get access to free merchandise. I give away free merchandise every single month. You're going to get a hat. You're going to get a shirt. The hats are really high quality. The shirts are okay. I wear them all the time, though. They're fine. I think I never had any complaints. Also, like I said, access to the early bets, guys. We are 96 and 58 last year on player props. 4 straight years of domination. We're also going to have Mouth giving his game picks, his line picks. We're going to have Mike Storey, the college football expert on the show, giving his college football picks. So you're going to have a lot of different ways to hop in, make money. You're going to make more money than you spend, guaranteed, especially if you sports bet. If not, you're going to get great fantasy insight, a great time, and a great community. And that's what you got to do. Here we go. It looks like we're doing another draft. Shirt is goated. Appreciate that. Is Rasheed the new Josh Gordon? It appears so, but we talked about this the other night in the show, Derek, and I don't think Rasheed Rice is nearly as good as Josh Gordon was. Like, Josh Gordon dominated on the Browns, right? With Brandon Weeden and a bunch of bums at quarterback, and had an epic all-time run, playing high and not really being in shape. And Rasheed Rice has been good on a game-to-game basis. He's also tied to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes with a cookie-cutter fucking role, where Josh Gordon was playing X against elite corners and just cooking everyone. So Josh Gordon is almost more of a cautionary tale, and it's a sadder story, right? Like, Josh Gordon was so much better than Rasheed Rice. And Josh Gordon was just mostly weed, man. Like, Rasheed Rice is now, the crazy Henry Ruggs type car crash. Luckily didn't kill anyone. The domestic allegations that he apparently is going to get off on, but still allegations. And then now smoking weed, violating your probation when you're on probation, now going to jail. Like, what a clown. I can't trust him. Now, I'll still draft him if the price is right. Once I just need to figure out, I don't like the uncertainty. I don't like, in best ball, it's fine. These are small, dollar amounts. But if we don't know going into the year, we're talking 2 weeks before the season, and I'm playing all my $250 and $500 fantasy leagues, am I going to take him in the third round not knowing? Maybe a couple times. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's just, I'll take someone that maybe has less upside that I know is going to be available, and I'll shoot for upside later, right? But if you draft right, you can take the risk and then draft some safer guys later. Draft Josh Downs, draft Chris Godwin, right, to kind of replace that. But it's just a slippery slope, man. And I feel like somebody's always going to reach. Someone's always going to reach on Rashee Rice because they see the upside, they see the name, they see there's no one else there in the Chiefs receiver room. That's it, I think. Let's get some more comments. Guys, we hit the goal. I know it's not really registering, but we hit it. So we're going to do another draft. And hopefully this new one works. I don't know why it's not registering, but yeah, light blue or higher. It should work. All right, so let's get in the chat here. Rob, can you pull up the tab and go to team tab and show the team so far? Yeah, I can do that. So I can show before we go every team. So go to my squad first. I'm not going to talk through it. I'll just show you. We're only in round 6, guys. So some teams don't have a full 6. Some teams have more than 6. There you go. Dakota's team, which I love this build. He doesn't have a pick for about 20 more picks, but I love this start in PPR. This is a ballsy, shoving your nuts in everyone's face fucking draft that I fucking endorse, dude. I endorse it. Let's see what happens in the running back room for you. But Brock Bowers is essentially your wide receiver 1, and then you have 5 guys I love. So I love this team. This is Packers Suck, my buddy Campbell and Rocco. They missed a pick because they traded up for Josh Allen, so they're looking a little thin, and they don't have a first round pick, so take that for what it's worth. Mouth, who has made 7 or 8 trades, has 4 players, but they're all blue chip players. This is 6 for a passing touchdown league, but he has a lot of picks coming up. We'll see if he can right that ship and fill out his roster a little bit. Jonathan with the most players, he's made some trades. He has 4 running backs. He has 3 receivers, no onesies yet, but a lot of players, a lot of good players. Derrick Henry was such a good value in dynasty startups because it's 1 or 2 year rental most likely. This is Derek's team, another one that's pretty goddamn full. Nice mix of veterans and young players. Guy killed the pre-draft trades before we even made a pick. He just made some awesome moves. This is Mark's team. Shout out Mark. 2 elite onesies. He's got to fill in that RB2 spot and both flex spots. Guys, this is a deep-ass league. You can start 5 receivers. This is the hometown homers, we're going to call them. Ray and Chaz with Caleb Williams, Ashton Jetty, Carnell Tate, Luther Bird, and Colson Loveland. Youngest team ever. They have a lot of first-round picks in the future, too. They are punting this year, and they're going in on the Bears and a lot of young players. That's going to be a dangerous team down the road. Another team that's punting the year, it appears. This is Nick, O, and Tom. They have 3 first-round picks, I think. They have like 7 picks in next year's draft, and they only have 4 players. They're on the clock currently. But really young team outside of St. Brown and Chase Brown. They're not old or anything. Here's Blake's team here, the Malik Neighbors team we were referring to. Guys, we're going to do another underdog draft here in a little bit here. Give us a couple minutes and we'll all get in together. We're going to go to MVP's team, who has a lot of picks coming up. He's traded for some first-round picks in the future. Drake May, Jeremiah Love, Cam Scatterbo, and Jackson Darts. And then last but definitely not least, my boy Jay. If you're in here, Jay, we love you. Jaden Daniels, Devin A-Chain, James Cook, A.J. Brown, Jameson Williams, Jalen Waddle, and Tyler Warren. Pretty balanced squad here. This seems to be it's one of those teams that's very young that can win now, I feel like. We got to see how he fills out the rest of his roster, but it's a solid team. I made it before the end. What's going on, TB? Yeah, we're doing another draft, so let me know when you guys are ready to hop on in, and I'm sorry I'm a little behind in the comments. I'll scroll back up and get to as many as I can. Cruz, they get tested. I think they just don't like to fail guys, right? But he got tested from his probation, right? That was his probation officer test, so he failed that one. Cruz, he's not going to get suspended because of it's the fact that I think it's that he that he violated his probation. He's going to jail, another offense, and it's also a failed drug test. I think all those things that rolled into one. I feel like they test for weed, but they just don't enforce it because you don't hear it very often. You know, these motherfuckers are smoking weed. They should smoke weed. It's legal for one. They have all this pain. Good call from Cruz. They pump these dudes full of painkillers and relaxers, but they can't smoke bud. It is a damn fucking shame, but that's big business. That's corporate America, guys. And I'm not saying trust me, you know, if I owned a business and I don't smoke weed anymore, but I love weed, it'd be mandatory you motherfuckers are smoking weed. I'd rather have you smoke weed than drink on the job, right? I'd rather have you smoke weed and drive than drink and drive. So, all right, we're going to hop in. Does anyone want me to just join first? When you hear this, you guys join. What do you guys think? We're doing another field general. I'm gonna right the wrong I had last draft. See you later, Derek. Appreciate you, dude. I'm gonna start this up. Let's hope we all get in this together, guys. So you'll see when you hear me, just join it up. Here we go. Six more. Here we go. We're all going to get this. No, we don't want anyone to get intoxicated and drive. No, certain people, you know, like, well, hopefully I don't hurt anyone else, but like Jerry Sandusky, why couldn't Jerry Sandusky in the 1970s go on a nice, you know, wooded area with not a lot of cars and a lot of trees and just get hammered and just fucking drive into a fucking tree? Or actually, no, I want Jerry Sandusky to drive by the Grand Canyon, right? Nice drive, all hammered. Just drive off a fucking Cliff Sandusky. In 1970, the world would be a way better place. Now, those are the people we want to drink and drive. When there's no one around, they can just die. But yes, 99% of people, maybe 99.9% of people don't drink and drive. Don't do it. What's up, Colby? Anyone wants to join? We're doing the Field General $3 Super Flex on Underdog. So hop on in if you want to play with us. Draft with us. Do draft grades. Guys, we have 19 likes in this video. That's pretty solid. Let's get that number up a little bit. If you have not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? We're pretty much live every single day. We're doing a lot of these drafts every night. We're also going to have, you know, we have 5 or 6 guests that come on along with me and when we're not drafting. And we do long shows talking about pretty much everything NFL related, gambling, fantasy football, a lot of non-PC stuff. This is not safe for work for the most part, guys. I think you guys all know that. Not safe for work, but you know what? Fuck them. That's what I say. One more to start, gentlemen. One more. How would you explain a dynasty league? Because I am new to that. So if you know what a keeper league is, you know, you play a normal redraft, you have keepers where you get to keep like 3 players and you get to like you decide who you keep it, where you draft them. This is essentially a keeper league for life. It's how NFL would run, right? Where you just draft, when you draft the startup draft, it's every player's available and you have those players for the duration of their career. And then you're more of a GM. You roll over the same team every year. You do a rookie draft after the initial startup draft. Every year it's just rookies coming in. It's a 3 to 5 round draft. And you can trade future picks. It's a lot more work in the off season, but it's less work in the regular season because it's usually there's such big leagues. Let me make sure this one didn't start already. It's such big leagues that there's no one on the waiver wire typically, like worth a damn. So it's just trades and start sit. So yeah, that's a dynasty league, man. I would definitely recommend it. You got to find, the problem with dynasty leagues is you got to find a tight knit group of people, friends that you know are in it for the long haul. Because when people quit, like, the league's fucked, you know, because you're not going to be able to like fill that team is now open and you're going to have to be like, hey, you want to join this dynasty league with all these shitty ass players and no future picks? Like, no one's going to take that team. Corey, do I like 2 quarterback leagues? I like super flex leagues, in terms of 2 quarterback leagues, no, because there's, you know, especially if it's a 12 teamer, like if you get injuries and someone takes a bunch of quarterbacks, it fucks up the league. Superflex allows you to ideally start 2 quarterbacks, but if for some reason buys and in a pinch, especially if it's PPR, just throw a wide receiver in there and you'll get 70% of the value of a quarterback. That allows for a much more even balance of power there and just much more flexibility. So, yeah, I do like super flex leagues, but I prefer for my normal big money leagues. I like doing 12-team deep rosters. 1 quarterback leagues is ideal because I just never take a quarterback to the end and I get all the good players. So, or you take quarterback at value. People take, early quarterbacks. There goes. Let's see who's in this draft here. I got 2. We have Phantoms. We have Dakota. We have Jake in his normal home. Jake, you're back in your home, dude. Pick 9. Pick 9 for Jake. What do you know? That's I'm sorry. You had a couple drafts there where you got early. You had a top 5 pick, and now you're back to your home. I'm sorry.
Good. Tell me everything.
Okay. They were both here. They were both inside me. Eduardo was in my mouth and Luther was in my butt.
Oh my God, no, don't tell me everything. What? No, what?
Damn it, Bonnie.
Eduardo who?
Sanchez.
Holy shit, tell us more.
Then Luther went in Eduardo's butt for a while.
Tell us less. Tell us less.
Then they both completed on each other. I was left out of the finale.
Don't leave Bonnie out of the finale. What's going on here? Rip, Bonnie, the actress that played Bonnie, has actually passed away now. So that's a shame. There goes Jaden Daniels at 9, Puka at 8. Sometimes I come off like Jerry Seinfeld when I say that's a shame, but it is a shame. Corey, I hate ESPN. So all the community leagues, if you're interested in playing leagues with us, you got to join the community, and we're doing most of those on Sleeper. Well, I prefer Yahoo or Sleeper or Fantrax. Those are the 3 I play on. I do play a couple ESPN home leagues with buddies. That's just because that's what we've been playing for years. But I avoid ESPN like the plague. It's the worst platform. They have terrible customer service. There's no the commission has the least control in that in ESPN. It's glitchy. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of ESPN. But you're welcome to hop in the community, man. Play leagues with us. We're gonna have at least 6 different leagues with all the co-hosts in them. At least like 1 or 2 of us in every league, as well as all the community members you see in this chat every single night. Be a big talking point on the show. We like to be interactive around here, so a lot of spots open. We are starting to fill those now, though. So we have a $100 12 team 1 quarterback super deep rosters, and we have a 10 team super flex. $100, and we'll have some smaller. We'll do some $50 leagues, maybe do a big one for $250. Whatever you guys want. Typically, I will set the settings for. We vote on every single thing around here. That's the way it should be, guys. There goes Patrick Mahomes at 16. Jaden Daniels at 9. Pretty nice pull there for Jake. Drake May at 10 is a pretty nice pull as well for this Volmania dude. Phantoms at 5. Where is Dakota? Dakota going the wide receiver strategy. I have not seen a Mortal Kombat in a while. There's been a couple I've missed. I hear it's really good though. OS says Kittle and Casey Concepcion for Jordan Tyson and Dallas Goedert. Who wins a trade in a keeper league? Is it Dynasty? Because I would probably go with Kittle and Concepcion because I think Dallas Goedert's dirt and dust. But I do like Jordan Tyson, so that's really close. Let me think about this for a second. Let me make my pick here. We have Jackson Dart and Brock Purdy still available. We're going to definitely take Brock Purdy. There are different bye weeks. Okay, we'll take Brock Purdy. And then, all right, I know what I'm doing. Brock Purdy, Saquon Barkley. Fuck. He probably won't be there. He is there. Okay. I thought I had the first pick for some reason. All right. This is a better start. I do like this start. This is super flex, Colby. This is super flex. And if you see all the quarterbacks going off, that is why quarterback in the first round. I should have put that in the title of the video. Sometimes I get a little lackluster. Dude, Scorpion was a shit. I think Scorpion's probably the best. I think Sub-Zero was kind of a little bitch. Cruz, I think so. And my hot take in terms of Saquon Barkley is Saquon Barkley is going to have 60 receptions, which the first 2 years in Philly was 33 his big year, and then 37 last year. I think he gets up to 60 receptions. And what he can do with the ball in his hands is elite. And like, that's just he's going to go nuclear. I think top 5 for sure. One of my favorite guys to draft. And just, I think it's free money, guys. Like middle of the second round, I'm willing to take Saquon Barkley at the 1-2 turn. I'm willing to take Saquon Barkley at 10 if I don't like who's there. It just seems like it's that nice combination of safe and upside, right? You don't get that a lot. Like what's Derrick Henry's upside? You know, I'm not saying Derrick Henry doesn't have upside because he's going a little later, but Derrick Henry is not going to catch the ball. So in a PPR, Derrick Henry will never finish inside the top 3 running backs. Saquon, you can make a very good argument that Saquon Barkley could be the number 1 running back. And okay, you say Gibbs and Bijan. Okay, number 3. Like number 3 is easily in the realm of possibility, especially with no AJ Brown. So yeah, I'm all in on Saquon this year, at least at this current moment. I'm going to get back to some comments I missed. Let's see here. Cruz, if you're still in here, typically we're talking about weak neighbors here. Typically, yes, recovery times are getting faster. I mean, you see George Kittle saying he's going to be ready week 1. Like Achilles in the playoffs, Neighbors was a week 4 injury. Now he didn't have surgery till like week 8 or week 9, but way younger, right? But when you have multi-ligament stuff, that's where it gets tricky. That's the tricky part about the Neighbors thing. And I think they want to win now, but I mean, the Giants, is there any chance the Giants win the Super Bowl this year? I don't think so. He's 22 years old. They should slow play it a bit. Just a little bit. I also forgot to mention this. Sorry, Mouse probably not in here anymore, but he is having the voice of the Clippers on his program. Guys, he had Ian Eagle on his show multiple times, comes on at least twice a year. Noah Eagle, Downtown Sports. Go check out that program. Dakota says, Mouth, make another trade. Mouth has made a million trades. I'm up in 2 picks. I can't fuck up on a pick here. So let's see here. Malik Neighbors is available. I think that's still too early for him. And we're going to go ahead and take, man, I want to take Josh Jacobs really bad. We'll take Josh Jacobs. And then we're going to need a wide receiver here. Do we pull the trigger on Neighbors? I don't think we do. I do need a receiver really bad. I'm going to take George Pickens, I think. I don't want anything here. Fuck it. Let's go aggressive at running back with Breece Hall. It'll be a really weird team. And then we just got to pound wide receivers now. I have the guys to stack with. Okay. I'm liking the start. It's a weird start. So, okay, there is no more weed testing. Thank you for clarifying that, Derek. I know he's not in here anymore. Josh Gordon would have a great career, and there was a lot of mental health stuff with Josh Gordon too. So who knows what would have happened with Josh Gordon. It's just a shame, It is just a shame. What's up, Colby? How you doing? I know you're talking before. Just want to shout you out. So this trade, let's go back to this trade from OS here. Kittle and Casey Concepcion for Jordan Tyson and Dallas Goedert. Who wins the trade? What do you guys think? Let's call this a dynasty league or keeper league, whatever. I don't know if there's a big difference, and I don't know the settings, so that's too much to talk about. Kittle and Casey Concepcion for Jordan Tyson and Dallas Goedert. If you're in a win now mode, God, I think I like Jordan Tyson and Dallas Goedert. Thinking about it, just Jordan Tyson's just great, right? And I just don't have a lot of faith in Cleveland. I love Concepcion, though. I actually had him ranked as my number 3 wide receiver in this class. Actually, I had him number 2. I had Jordan Tyson 1 and Casey Concepcion 2. But Denzel Boston being there, Harold Fannin, it's kind of a crowded room and a defensive organization. Bad weather. Give me Tyson and Dallas Goedert. Just because I don't think Kittle's playing for more than 3 more years. I think Kittle's better than Dallas Goedert and also will probably play longer than Dallas Goedert. At least, have relevance in fantasy. I like that side. What do you guys think in the chat? Colby's doing 2 quarterbacks this year and a defense player. I'm not liking it. I love IDPs. I have a couple IDP leagues. Colby, just tell him to make it super flex. It just makes it easier on everyone. Super flex. Tell him to do super flex. That's all I got to say. That's huge. How many teams are in the league, Colby? Because if it's 12 teams, you have to do super flex because you can have a team that hoards 4 quarterbacks and fucks himself, but also fucks over league mates, which is stupid. All right. We got to do this. We got to take Zay Flowers, my boy. And then we have a lot of options at the next pick. We can go. And there goes Gino right before me. That's fine. So we're going to roll with 2 quarterbacks, I think, on this team for the most part. And we're going to go ahead and take. Do I take Tet? And then just stack. I think I know what I do. As much as I want Mike Evans, I feel like the value on Tet is too good to pass up. So we'll take Tet here ahead of Mike Evans. It's going to be Tet or Mike Evans. We're taking Tet. I'm just going to take value on this team. I'll stack it up later. We already have the Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson stack. So I'm going to take Tet McMillan about 10 picks after where he should go and be happy with that. There goes Mendoza. This guy's got 4 quarterbacks. AK suited, has Jackson Dart, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, and Fernando Mendoza. That is a very, very silly thing to do. This guy's a moron, dude.
How about a little bottle of spermicidal lube, too?
And 1 little bottle of spermicidal lube?
Yeah, 1 little bottle of spermicidal lube.
Evan, that's psycho shit, man.
It's not.
It's like Charles Manson shit. What do you think Becca's gonna be psyched that you brought a bottle of lube? Oh, Evan, thank you for bringing that lube for my pussy. I never would have been able to handle your fucking 4-inch dick inside my pussy without that gigantic bottle of lube.
Where am I at in the chat? Here we go. Why are a lot of people undervaluing Henry when he was a top 2 rusher and a top 2 rushing TD leader? Because they've been undervaluing Henry for the last 4 years, and it's silly. And I've been just making money on Derrick Henry since he left Tennessee, or even the last year in Tennessee, which wasn't the best. But man, it's because the Ravens' perceived downfall. Even though for me, I see it better for Henry because the fact that they don't have Isaiah Likely anymore, right? Like there's just one less weapon. Lamar is primed for a bounce back season, and Derrick Henry still looked awesome last year. 1,500 yards rushing. That game against the Packers, just go watch that film. He is 90% of Derrick Henry. But I prefer Saquon Barkley at value even because I think Saquon Barkley has even more upside. But you can't go wrong with Derrick Henry. The problem is in PPR, like I said, Derrick Henry is just a little bit neutered in terms of his major upside because he's going to catch like 17 passes. But he's going to have like 17 touchdowns, right? Phantom's mad I gave him a C- grade. He took 3 quarterbacks. Yeah, he's adjusting. I love the adjustments. Colby, AJ, and Drake, thoughts. What do you mean, AJ and Drake? Like, what does that mean if he's there? I guess I can answer it like that. If you can clarify, do we like AJ and Drake? Yeah, I love the skill set because you saw Kayshon Boutte dominate in that same role, and AJ Brown is just way better than Kayshon Boutte. And Kayshon Boutte isn't great at like the slants, where like AJ Brown's going to be able to, stretch the defense, but also keep them honest. And you're going to see a lot of those Drake May slants to AJ Brown, which go to the house. So I'll give you a second here, and I will get to your comments. Oh shit, Tyler Warren, fucking value, brother. Another fucking value for Tyler Warren. Now we need a receiver. Definitely another receiver. Is there a quarterback I would take? No, there is not. So we're going to take, it's either going to be Carnell Tate, Alec Pierce. Huh. I'm fine with either of these dudes. Let's take Carnell Tate since I just took Tyler Warren. And we're just taking value at wide receiver. And we will stack everything up later. So yeah, I think AJ Brown's value will probably stay the same if they hadn't drafted all the guys they drafted in anticipation of them trading AJ Brown. If it was a lockstep and everything was the same as it was last year in Philly, even value, right? Third, fourth round receiver, because he is getting up there in age a little bit. He's only 29, I think, but he definitely lost a step. He was definitely fat last year, and he reads a lot of books, so that might be the reason. Corey says, is it worth reaching on a certain tight end early? How much do you value them compared to other needs such as running back or wide receiver? No, it's not worth it. For me, it's Brock Bowers or bust. I'm not taking, unless it's like an 8 to 10 ADP value. I'm not taking any of those guys. I'm not taking Loveland. I'm probably not taking Warren. I much prefer the Pitts, Laporta. We can go to the board here. I much prefer the Pitts, Laporta, Fannin. Not so much Fannin. Pitts, Laporta range there. I love that range. That is my range to do some damage. I'd much rather not punt tight end, but you can stream tight end so much easier because it's a onesie position. And there's always guys that pop up that are undrafted or, tight end 19 that ends up being tight end 6. And the difference between tight end 6 and tight end 12 is like 1-2 points a game. So I don't like that, that you hear about the running back dead zone all the time. There's a tight end dead zone, and it's from tight end 4 to tight end 9. Every year it's rough. So, I will be all about Tucker Kraft again. That was my most drafted player last year was Tucker Kraft. Ended badly because of injury, but that was the best pick ever. I'll be about him if the medicals come back. I don't draft a lot of early tight end in best ball, but in redraft, I do want to get that second tier, even that third tier. And if I don't get any of those guys, I wait until the very end and I take a TJ Hawkinson, I take Jake Tunges and just figure it out later, right? And just stack upside running backs on my bench, especially in home leagues, because you can make trades, Yeah, they are essentially wide receiver ones, Cruz. I much prefer both of them at PPR, right? Because now McBride caught 8 touchdowns last year. Maybe it was 10. Bowers caught 7 in limited action. But those guys, historically, especially McBride, is not a touchdown guy. So in half PPR, the gap is less wide, right? In full PPR, they blow away the field. They're worth that mid-second round pick. I don't advise anyone taking a tight end in the first round. There's too much talent at running back. Running backs win leagues, guys. Yeah, Blake, keep it positive, brother. Keep it positive. You know what we preach in the show, and you keep it positive about your team. Oh, don't take him. Don't take him, you piece of shit. Yes, we're going to get George Kittle. That was much needed. Much needed pick there on the squad. And we're going to go ahead. I'm good at running back still. There are some guys I do like here still available. Anyone that correlates, though, there's not. There's Ricky Pearsall. Let's go ahead and take Ricky Pearsall. A little ahead of ADP, but I don't think I'm going to get him coming back. So we're going to take Ricky Pearsall, which I don't have a lot of shares of, but I want to have this team really correlated with the Niners. This is a Niners team here with Lamar. I have Zay Flowers and Lamar, which is nice. If he rushes back too early, Colby, I get it. I think they're going to understand. And the problem is that's one of my biggest gripes with Kyle Shanahan, who I do adore. I think he's top 2, top 3 offensive mind in the league. Is his his injury management of players. It's not good. His workloads. He's essentially the Tom Thibodeau. If you watch the NBA, what Tom Thibodeau did forever with the Bulls. The McCaffrey thing, it's too much. But if he's smart, I know Kittle's one of his best strengths is blocking. Let's leave him out of the game on some of those design run plays and get his snap share down a little bit, and let's get a healthy Kittle. So I hope Shanahan realizes that this year. One of the best strategies, though, in redraft this year is just take George Kittle and take Jake Tunges, and you get George Kittle in the 9th or 10th. You get Tunges in the 14th, and you have a tight end 1 all year, guys. That is probably the best strategy to have. That's what I'm going to do in a lot of leagues, especially if in an IR spot. If Kittle, you want him to miss 4 or 6 games, slap him in that IR spot, get another player, start Jake Tunges, money in the bank. Corey, I am not high on Nico Collins just because Tank Dell is coming back and Higgins is still there. There are a lot of targets to go around. In a low volume passing offense, I would agree. Nico Collins is a stud, though, man. I like him more in half PPR because he's a touchdown guy. But Tank Dell doesn't really scare me. If anything, it's going to help Nico Collins out a little bit because he's going to stretch the field. I think I think Tank Dell is going to be a non-factor for fantasy. Now, in these best ball drafts, I do like him as a late flyer. But he's more of this year to be more of an impact for that offense opposed to fantasy relevance. Might help out CJ Stroud as well. They're not great updates, Blake, on Tank Dell, but there are. Colby's in a 10-team super flex. So make it super flex. Colby, tell him. It's the same thing as 2 quarterbacks, but at least you have the option, right? GM says Allen and Drake for Burrow and Lamar. This is Burrow and Lamar for me. 4 for a passing touchdown, huh? This is Allen and Drake and a 4 for a passing touchdown. If it's 6 for a passing touchdown, it's Burrow and Lamar. I'm going to go Allen and Drake, though. You guys all agree with that? Gross. I do have one guy that's not going to last to me. God damn it. But I would take him if he lasts. And I would just say, fuck Jake Tunges. It's Mr. Mark Andrews. Let's go ahead and take Andrews here. Thinking about it, I wish I didn't take Tyler Warren, but the value was just too good on Tyler Warren. So we can just not have Tunges on this team. So someone else is going to get a free Tunges, guys. And you can thank me later for that. This could be a Kirk Cousins spot, but you know what? I need another receiver. I think this is going to be Matthew Golden here. This team is shaping up, gentlemen. It is shaping up. Tight end room is stacked. Maybe 2 stacked at tight ends. But I'm going to only roll with 4 running backs possibly on this team because I went running back after the quarterbacks in a super flex. You guys agree Allen and Drake over Burrow and Lamar in a 4 for a passing touchdown? Gosh, I hope Higgins in Houston works out. I traded a 2nd rounder for him last year. He looked really good last year, man. And I will say this. I think one of the reasons he boomed at the end of the last year was he was playing well, but it was that, this isn't really that. It's kind of speculation, but I think it's fact. Nico Collins was playing hurt at the end of the year. Not even the concussion. He had something else. I don't know if it was a shoulder injury, and he was out snapping Nico Collins towards the end of the year. No way that's happening this year. But Higgins, I'm a fan of. He's a poor man's Nico Collins, T. Higgins type player. Stroud was very rough, and that was the hardest thing to watch was Stroud in the playoffs. That was an F- that game, man. Parker Washington, not a fan of Parker. I mean, I love Parker Washington. I'm not a fan of his ADP. I was one of the guys tooting the Parker Washington horn for everyone to scoop him up before he was like a thing. And he should not be going in the same round as Brian Thomas. He should not be going within 10 wide receiver spots of Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas should be going wide receiver 25, and Parker Washington should be going wide receiver 40. As it's constructed, you have Brian Thomas, wide receiver 35, and Parker Washington, like wide receiver 30. Brian Thomas, wide receiver 32, Parker, wide receiver 35. It should not be that close. Tate was going to call back to me. I do hate him. Do you have Cam Ward, Dakota? I just thought it was pretty good value where I took him. No McBride in terms of am I taking McBride this year? I will take McBride if he continues to fall. So early in these best ball drafts, he was going 5 or 6 picks ahead of Brock Bowers. Now it's flipped the other way where Brock Bowers is going 3 picks ahead of Trey McBride. That's the way I have it ranked. If he starts going in where he went last year, like early 3rd, I'll take a lot of Trey McBride. In the 2nd round, I'm not taking Trey McBride this year. Too many mouths to feed. Jeremiah Love's there. They're going to throw the ball 20% less, at least, maybe 25% less. Who do we have here? Zach Charbonnet. This is getting really gross really fast. Nope. Okay, I think it's another Zach Charbonnet team here. This is the perfect spot for him. This team, it actually works, I think. And then take a guy later. I definitely need a receiver. I think I know the guy here. A guy I've not been taking very often. Sorry, I'm slacking on the comments, guys. I am trying to make sure I don't fuck this draft up. I'm getting an A on this grade if I have to die doing it. Trey Tucker. It's going to work out with the squad. And wow, tight ends have been falling. Look at the team here. Okay, this is a team right here. This is a fucking squad. Someone took Carson Beck. God damn it. Now this is getting super gross. Still some value to be had. I need one more running back, though, gentlemen. Corey, would you rather have Devonta Smith or Ibuka, knowing that A.J. Brown will most likely be traded with Evan? Devonta Smith, and it's not really that close. I don't hate Ibuka at his ADP, which is the 3-4 turn. Devonta Smith should be closer to the 2-3 turn. I think Devonta Smith is a firm middle third-round pick, and we've been waiting for this for a while. I don't think he's a true number one body type, but I think he's a true number one talent, and he has the chemistry with Jalen Hurts. Like, I'm not worried about Lemon taking his, taking like targets away from him. And Dallas Goedert's going to regress. As much as I think Saquon Barkley's a smash in the passing game, Devonta Smith's an elite player, guys. This is his opportunity. He's 27 years old. Everything here points to Devonta Smith being a wide receiver one. GM, because this is a small-time thing, and I've invested everything into this, so I don't have the money to have all that software. So hopefully, next year, I will be having a nice setup like Flock and all those guys. But, I have a wife. I have a fucking mortgage. I have a lot of things, and I do the show every night. I put 50 hours a week in the show. I can't work to give you the content you need. So I have to draft from my phone and have a kind of a shisty little setup. But you know what? The content's there. And I think Real knows Real. And also I like the vertical streams because that's how I get more exposure. I mean, we have 3,000 subs, but there's just a lot of competition out there, and a lot of them are worse than my show. I'll say that. But I definitely don't prefer this, but I can't invest $5,000 more into the show when I make, say, $600 or $700 a month from this program and everything after all my stuff. And that's in a good month. That's not enough to even cover a third of my bills. So I got to keep roughing it a little bit, and hopefully the show takes off, and people like you, people like everyone else, just subscribe for one, and also join the community, support the show. If you like what you're seeing, ask anyone in the community. They know what's up. They're on here watching every fucking night. So we have to make a pick here, and it might be a Deshaun Stripling pick here, huh? Jerry Jeudy. Nope. We're going to take Ray Davis. My boy, Ray Davis. I think I'm done at running back. Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall, Zach Charbonnet, Ray Davis. One with a 2-quarterback build and a super flex, which is risky, but I don't care. I don't fucking care. And then, do I have too many Niners? So Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle. No, I don't. So let's hop in Stribling here. Not a fan of Stribling, but you know what? Essentially first-round draft capital, first pick of the second round. They love his blocking. This is insurance for my Ricky Pearsall pick. Blake, your team is good. Don't worry about your team. It's some of the picks don't make the most sense in terms of the build you're going for in our Dynasty League, but I don't hate it, man. And I'm pretty honest, so I would tell you otherwise. Also, Blake, let's think of it this way. As Blake is the media manager in the show. We love you, Blake. I'm paying for your entry, so it's essentially all house money.
Look at this. This is Laurence Olivier and Othello. And this is James Earl Jones. Now look at how close they look.
Look at that. James Earl Jones doing a great blackface.
James Earl Jones has a black face. He's a black man.
He's not black.
Of course he's black.
He was Darth Vader.
Darth Vader was black?
No.
See? Okay, there we go.
Darth Vader was not black. They took the mask off. He was white.
Corey, I am not a Michael Pittman dude this year, and maybe that's just my love of DK Metcalf that I refuse to get off of. I'm not huge into DK this year. I'm just kind of fading the Steelers as a whole. Aaron Rodgers broke a little bit last year, dude. He is old as dirt. They're going to run the ball a lot. That defense will be better. I just think in best ball, I would like him more in redraft in a deep league. In best ball, like, where's the upside in Michael Pittman, right? Like, last year, he caught a lot of touchdowns. It was an 8% touchdown rate last year, which is super crazy. His career is like 4.5. That's going to come back down to the 4.5. So he's not going to be the number one. I'm sorry. DK Metcalf's still the number one target. He'll lead the team in routes and targets. I don't know. And they like Pat Freiermuth as well. So not into Michael Pittman. Sports, I think the number one option, like I said, in redraft especially, is you draft, if you want to punt tight end, which is, this isn't punting tight end in my mind, but based on draft capital, it is. You take George Kittle in the 10th, and then you reach on Jake Tunges, which probably won't be drafted in most leagues. In my leagues, they will be, because I'll have him on my team. And you take Jake Tunges in the 14th, and you have the starting tight end on a Kyle Shanahan-led offense, and you'll have a tight end one, right? That is the ultimate strategy. That's a cheat code if you want to wait at tight end. I love it. Hey, we got Cry Dog in the chat. What's up, brother? Bowers was not fun last year. What you see for him this year, Simpson? Brock Bowers is the biggest smash ever this year. Now, the price is getting a little heavy, but I talked about it earlier. The Raiders are paying their wide receivers this year $7 million total. Trey Tucker, Jack Bash, Dante Thornton. It's awful. And Ashton Genty's going to do a lot of work in the passing game, and I like Michael Mayer as well. They're going to play a lot of 12 personnel. This is Brock Bowers is going to have 170 targets this year. Maybe that's a little egregious, but it's going to be a Trey McBride level volume season. This is Elijah Surratt. Love that. All right, guys, stick around after this. We'll do draft grades. Cry Dog is one of my oldest friends, guys, and I'll tell you guys a great story after this draft before we do draft grades of like me and Bob kind of knew each other, but how we met in 8th grade. Pretty epic story. I always tell the story. It's fucking awesome. I'll tell you this story here in a second. And I think we're good at running back. I don't want any of these dudes. So let's take. Ooh. I'm going to take Adonai Mitchell, I think. There we go. Oh, there's still another pick. I still have one more round. Okay, wide receivers are solid. It's an aggressive team with 2 quarterbacks. But I'm going to queue up Cade Klubnik. Please don't take him if you're in here watching. And Christian Kirk. Okay. All right, you guys ready for this awesome story, guys? Let me get to a couple more comments. I appreciate the honesty. I'm down to support in more ways than just likes. Hey, OGM, like I said, go to the website, go to the link in the description, join the community, guys. Get in the Discord, as Jay says. Shout out Jay. Jay is the father around here. He's an older gentleman, not old, also very attractive. And Jay, just so you know, I want to let everyone know your wife is very attractive. I did PC, and I didn't say she was hot, even though she's fucking hot. Jay has been with her for over 40 years, and he still gets raging hard boners. So we love Jay. Yeah, if you gamble as well. So GM, just hop over to the website, go to the link in the description. Guess what? If you sign up tonight while we're on the live stream, I'll do another fucking draft. You got to hop in the Patreon, and then I'll get you into the community tonight. And it is, it's the place to be. Real quick, I can show you the setup too. It's about 45, 50 of us in there. All very active. We have redraft leagues you can play. You know, I'm here to help you guys draft your teams as long as it doesn't coincide with my redraft leagues. But get my rankings, get everything. I'm a man of the people, guys. You know what's up. Anyways, after I make this pick, I'm gonna tell an epic story of how I met Mr. Bob Kreider. Pretty awesome. Bob's also one of the all-time best bass players of all time. He was my bass player for a long time, or I was his drummer, whatever you want to say. We lived together, and we had a lot of epic jams for many of years. Also, a lot of awesome basketball battles, Kreider. And Krydog is 6'5", in his prime, about 220. Ask Bob real quick in the chat, who is a better rebounder? Me at 6 foot, 160 was my playing weight, 170, or Bob at 6'5", 220? Bob, answer the question. Who is a better rebounder? Don't bullshit. Don't bullshit. Oh, I hate this pick, Cade Klubnik, but I need to do it. He'll answer the question here if he's still in here. Anyways, before I get to the draft grades, I'll go to the first team here, and then we can I can tell this quick story because it's a great fucking story. It's epic. It's epic.
It's really unfair. It's my team. It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair. We lost as a team.
We're 1 day apart. Me and Cry Dog are 1 day apart. March 26th, March 27th on his end. Rob is one of the best offensive basketball players I've played with. Rob could out-rebound anyone. I don't think he's just trying to sugarcoat it, but I played the wrong clip there. You know, the actual clip I should have played. Here it is. This is the clip I should have played. Thank you.
How would you describe it?
I don't even know how to feel right now. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm happy.
All right, here's the story real quick before we do draft grades. So Aurora University in Illinois, we did a baseball camp, and it was sixth, seventh, and eighth graders. We were both in eighth grade, getting ready to go to high school. We both went to it. We didn't know each other, and I had an older brother who is 6 years older than me. And I had a porn connection. Like there was this tobacco outlet by our house that would sell these 6-hour porn DVDs for $5. So I'd have my brother buy me like fucking 10 or 20 of them, and I'd slang them for like $20 a pop. Because like when you're younger, like you'll pay premium. It's like selling beer to underage kids. They're going to pay a premium. I charge like 4X, baby. So I brought a bunch of them to the fucking Aurora University baseball camp. And I was walking down the line to like the younger kids, and just the way Kreider says it's better. Just porn. I got porn here. Who wants porn? And that's essentially how we met. And it's an all-time epic story that you guys have watched me enough, you know it's fucking true, right? And I'm pretty proud of myself. Now, if I was an adult doing that, pretty crazy shit. But you know, I was in eighth grade. These are sixth graders. No crime there, right? So pretty awesome. Yeah, we kind of knew each other, but we hadn't like been acquainted, right? We didn't know each other like personally. We didn't really have a conversation. And then, you know, that's you must have been like, this guy's wacky as fuck. And I think I've lived up to that bill, bro. I still sell porn, but there's no market for it. It's mostly just me filming myself jerking off. Doesn't sell, you know. It's this guy's got a belly and a 6-inch dick, and he's pale. Nah. Good cum shots though. All right. Jake's squad, A through F, guys, draft grades. Also, if you want to join the community, you want to draft with us, we'll do draft grades for every single community member in here. Jake's team, again, reminder, guys, this is super flex. Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, and Justin Fields. No, actually, I have to pay people to watch me do it. It's not a good business. That's why I'm drafting on my phone, clearly, because I've been paying too many people to watch me jerk off. All right, Jake, I love the Justin Fields, Patrick Mahomes stack. This is a nice security blanket for you in a 2-quarterback build. Love the quarterbacks. Kenneth Walker, David Montgomery, Ramondre Stevenson, Woody Marks, Dylan Sampson, and Kamani Vidal. He always builds good running back room. Stevenson is a 3, Woody is a 4, Dylan Sampson is a 5, and I like Vidal. So, like, why is Keaton Mitchell going ahead of Vidal? I'll never fucking know. I disagree with it. So I like this running back room. Rashee Rice, way ahead of ADP. We're going to talk about that in a second. Rashee Rice, Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore, Xavier Worthy, Antonio Williams, Trey Harris, Kayshawn Boutte, and Troy Franklin, with Sam Laporta, Kyle Pitts, and Chick Okonkwo. So in terms of stacks, you have Jaden Daniels stacked up with Terry McLaurin, with Antonio Williams, and Chick Okonkwo. With Patrick Mahomes, you have him stacked with Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and with Justin Fields, that's the same stack. So and you have Kenneth Walker as well. Man, this is a fucking banger, bro. Am I just rose-colored glasses on this one, or is this a banger for you guys too? Because this is well stacked. Buying in on the Chiefs is super nice. Justin Fields, little security blanket I like. I have no issues with the running back room. You know my love of David Montgomery this year. Same with Kenneth Walker. I mean, as much as I think Rashee Rice was way overdrafted, his ADP is not even adjusted yet. He's going to go 60 in these super flex leagues more times than not. You reached on him, but you reached on McLaurin. how did you get, I guess I'm trying to just poke holes in it. The back end receivers suck. Don't take Troy Franklin. Can you stop taking Troy Franklin, Jake? Because Troy Franklin's terrible. He's terrible. That's my gripe is your last player you took is terrible. Tight end room is lovely, dude. Jake Okonkwo, you almost didn't even need him, but you stack him with Jaden Daniels. This is an A. This is an A. I can't even say it's not. I told you guys I needed a guarantee. I was getting an A tonight, and it might be hard when I see this team because this team is fucking solid. It's upside, it's floor, it's safe to probably advance, way higher than what everyone else will have besides us probably. But it also has a chance to win the league. And I guess it's just a little thin at wide receiver. I guess you'd say if there's a Rashee Rice issue, Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore, Xavier Worthy, though I like Worthy, and then Williams, Trey Harris, there's a lot of nothing. So that's my only thing, but I just love everything about it, the construction. This is an A. Giving this an A. What does everyone else have? Yeah, don't take Troy Franklin unless you have Bo Nix. And I could be wrong. He's just really bad. He's just so bad. And then Jalen Waddle, like they're going to probably, they don't have a tight end really there. Like Justin Jolly is nothing special, but they'll use a tight end more than they did last year. But man, this is a good team. So let's go over to Dakota's team. Cam Ward, Jacoby Brissett, and Carson Beck. This is a naked quarterback room. Let's see how he paired it with the rest of the guys. Marion Hampton, Blake Corum, Chris Rodriguez, Rashad White, Jonah Coleman, Tajay Spears, Emmanuel Wilson. Is your wide receivers all wide receiver ones? Puka Nacua, St. Brown, Chris Olave, Marvin Harrison, Wando Robinson, Calvin Ridley, Keon Coleman, with Trey McBride, Jake Tunges, and Greg Dulcich. So I do like the tight end room because of Jake Tunges, but it's a little thin, and the running back room is just bad. As much as I love Blake Corum, and the quarterback room is bad. Dakota, I'm going to throw exactly the grade you gave back at me earlier. This is probably one of the worst teams I've seen you draft. I just don't see the appeal of, like, it's essentially a 2-quarterback build with Cam Ward and Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, I don't know. This is your team, right? I didn't pick on the wrong one. Tajay Spears, I guess, because Cam Ward. So is it stacked okay? Cam Ward with Wandale Robinson, Calvin Ridley, Tajay Spears. The Cardinals you have is Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride. So it's okay, but the running back room is an issue. The build is okay, but I'm not the biggest Chris Olave fan this year, but that's not the reason I don't like the team. It's mostly the quarterback room and running back room. This is a C-. This is probably the worst team I've seen you draft. This might be a D+, bro. To quote Tommy Boy, I got a D+. I passed. I'm going to graduate. It could work. Honestly, it could work if the Cardinals, but the hedging on Jacoby Brissett and Carson Beck is fine if you had an elite quarterback. As much as I love Cam Ward, this is probably one of the worst teams I've seen you draft, and you've been on a roll. So I think we all agree, though, with that one. Give us, what do you guys think in the chat, just so we're not way off base? Dakota gave himself a C-. So we got to go to Phantom's team here. We have Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, and Matt Stafford. This is a banger of a room. Can he fill up the rest of the roster, though? Travis Etienne, Jadarian Price, Rico Dotto, Kenneth Gainwell, JCM, Nick Singleton, Drake London, T. Higgins, Brian Thomas, Concepcion, Brandon Ayuk, Dontavian Wicks, Andre Yoshivash, and CJ Daniels. That's a nice pick there for how late it is. That could be an X factor. Bretton Strange, AJ Barnard, Terrence Ferguson. This tight end room is garbage. But that being said, I like the 8 receivers. It's not the most high-end receivers, but it's going to do the trick here. And as much as I hate Price, I am not a Price fan, guys. Rico Dotto and Kenneth Gainwell make the Price pick work in my mind because Rico is going to have his pop-off weeks. Kenneth Gainwell is a nice floor. JCM wildcard, I'm a huge Nick Singleton fan. So quarterback room is so fucking good that I'm going to give you a little bit of pass on this bad tight end room. It's bad. And this is a solid B for me, just because the quarterback room is going to just keep you afloat. In terms of stacking, you have T. Higgins with Joe Burrow. With Trevor Lawrence, you have Brian Thomas and Bretton Strange. And with Matt Stafford, you have just Terrence Ferguson. I will say about this is a low floor. This is a high floor, low ceiling team, right? Without the stacks, I feel like this is a team that will have a way better chance than most to advance. And it could advance a second round. I don't think this team could win. Yeah, Tyquan Thornton. I love Tyquan Thornton now, opposed to Troy Franklin, and especially with even if you don't have Mahomes. So I'm giving this a B because I do like the team. I don't think this has what it takes to win. I know like how many teams actually win and get in the championship. I just think the upside's a little bit low on this team because lack of stacking and the running back room will be fine. But solid B. Dakota says B. I think Jake said C- for your team. What do you guys have for the rest of your grades for MVP's team? This is a really good team. It's just one of those where I wish it was stacked more. And in these tournaments, you have to have a couple more stacks. But the quarterback room is great. I like the running back room. I really like what you did there. And I'm telling you, when I say I like the running back room and you have Price in your running back room, you know you did some things right because I hate Price at his ADP. Hate him. And then Brian Thomas, fucking love that pick, dude. Love it. Concepcion Ayuk is a nice X factor. And Yoshi with Joe Burrow. I didn't see you had Yoshi. So Yoshi and T. Higgins. So I guess I think they might bring in might bring in what the hell's his name? I'm running out of energy here. I had a brain fart. I had a Storey brain fart here. DeAndre Hopkins might be brought into Cincinnati. So solid B. Yeah, they're stacked. It's just not like super heavy in the stack, but yeah, it's a very good team. Like this is, like I said, I feel like really confident this team's gonna be top 3 in the league, maybe even number 1 in the regular season. It just seems to me like a really good regular season team where like it's gonna be hard to compete against teams that are really stacked later on. I guess you could say it about anyone that doesn't stack a lot, but really good team. All right, let's go to my squad here. I promised an A from you guys, so let's see if I disappointed or not. Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy, and Cade Klubnik, gross. Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall, Zach Charbonnet, and Ray Davis. With Zay Flowers, Tet McMillan, Carnell Tate, Ricky Pearsall, Matthew Golden, Trey Tucker, Deshaun Stribling, Elijah Surratt, and Adonai Mitchell. Tyler Warren, George Kittle, and Mark Andrews. So in terms of stacks, Lamar is stacked up with Zay Flowers, Elijah Surratt, and Mark Andrews. Brock Purdy is stacked up with Ricky Pearsall, Deshaun Stribling, and George Kittle. And Cade Klubnik does not count because he's terrible. So running back room's a little weak, but I like the Charbonnet at 4 because I'm good for a while with Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, and Saquon Barkley. Gives me some upside later in the year. CJ Daniels, I did like that pick, dude, because he's not going to be rostered in a lot of these leagues. So, like, that's a nice edge you have there. So maybe I need to B plus because it's hard to say because he's going to make it a half a letter grade. But I do like the upside there. I think I glossed over that one. So, again, light on running backs, but I did go running back after my 2 quarterbacks. And then receivers aren't the highest end. That's why I took 9 of them. So I like the build. Ricky Pearsall, I reached on, but I got good value on Tate, really good value on Tats, and then Zay actually at ADP for the stack. And it's just not a great room, but I'm going to ideally be flexing a running back a lot of these. You know, it's only I can get away with 2 wide receivers in this team more times than not. And I have a solid tight end group that could be flexed. So I get that the 2 quarterbacks, essentially, let's not even count Cade Klubnik. I probably shouldn't even have taken him, but I didn't have another need anywhere else. Dakota, are you saying MVP's running back room or my running back room? Because I have Breece Hall as my 3. Yeah, your receiver room is definitely gonna be better. I took 3. I took 3 running backs before I took a receiver. But I mean, yeah, if you look at the 4 and 5, I'm just going for like the top 3 guys. Like I have no need to. I have no need to take I could have gone with a 4 running back build, and I would have if it wasn't Zach Charbonnet. But since he's going to be missing 10 games, I figured I needed a little insurance in Ray Davis. My wide receiver room is nothing to write home about. I mean, the top 3 are good. I like Tat at 2. That's why I took 9 of them, and they're all pretty stacked up. Besides Trey Tucker, Matt Golden, and Adonai Mitchell. They're all stacked up for the most part. And then I do like the tight end room. Like I said, like Tyler Warren falling 10 picks after ADP. I almost wish I didn't take Tyler Warren because I would have preferred Kittle, Andrews, and Tunges. That I wish I would have had I known, I would have taken a better receiver, right? I would have taken a receiver in the Tyler Warren spot, but you can't go back on that, right? Jake says B, nice stacks. I do have pretty nice stacks, bro. God, I was hoping for an A. MVP, solid B plus, A minus. I like the squad. All right, we're getting closer. We're getting warmer. I don't know if I'd grade this an A myself just because of the fact that I have Lamar and Brock Purdy, who both have been hurt the last couple of years. And Cade Klubnik doesn't count. I keep on saying that. He might play like 5 games, but what's he actually going to score? I don't know. I do have Cade Klubnik stacked with Adonai Mitchell, guys. So that actually worked. This is a very aggressive team. Like when I said MVP, that it wasn't quite as like, this is a way more aggressive team. Your team it can withstand some injuries and things not going your way, and you can make the playoffs. Like this team needs some things to break right. Like my running backs have to stay healthy, but yeah. So I hit the build. Yeah, I guess I got a little comfortable with Carnell Tate as my 3, and the problem is I had to reach on Ricky Pearsall. And you know what? My goal was to take Xavier Worthy instead of the Matthew Golden pick. That's why I reached on Pearsall, because I wanted to take Golden and possibly Xavier Worthy, right? But then Jordan and I had Mark Andrews follow me, so I'm not a fan of Cade. B plus. Well, yeah, Cade Klubnik's a dog shit. Like no one's a fan of Cade Klubnik. Cade Klubnik's not even a fan of Cade Klubnik. He is I think he cuts his wrist, man. But you know what? I do like that offense there in New York with the infrastructure, and if they're fucking 4-8. Like, why are they going to play Geno Smith? Like, at least, I know he's a 6th-round rookie quarterback. Just play this young guy that has some mobility. So, it's an A+ if you had Tungus. I know, man. Like, Tyler Warren just fell too far. And then once I took Kittle, I wanted Andrews for the stack. And I'm not taking a 4th tight end on this team, right? There's no point. So, I much prefer if this was George Kittle, Mark Andrews, and Tungus, like I said. And if I had those 3 with a better receiver, in that range, which would have been pick 95. Drafting Klubnik on a stream will get you banned from YouTube. You know what? I drafted him both times tonight, I think. That's fucking gross.
That kid is back on the escalator again. Remarkable. That's criminal. That kid is back on the escalator again.
Leave it alone.
What?
All right. Did not make the pick. The Dynasty League is paused now, guys. So, hey, we got almost 2.5 rounds or 2 rounds today in, which the previous day we got 1 round in, and it's 4 hours per pick. So that's progress, guys. We started on Tuesday. It is Friday night tonight. So what is that? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's 4 days, and we got almost 6 rounds in. So we're getting a round and a half a day. So by my math, we're going to finish this draft in about 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. I'm hoping to draft by Memorial Day. Well, yeah, Dakota doesn't have a pick until, where are you at? You're 8-12. 8-12. So yeah, you don't have a pick for a full 2+ rounds. So oh yeah, MVP. I'm not saying it'll be good. I'm just saying, what's the point of playing Geno if your season's over, and like Aaron Glenn would be fired at that point, and you might as well just go with the young kid and just lose even more, right? Because we know he's worse than Geno, but then at that point the Geno thing wouldn't work. We got to see what we have in Cade, and Cade would suck, and then they'd have the top 5 pick and then take the quarterback of the future. So that's another reason to go to Cade Klubnik. And I don't know why I'm trying to defend Cade Klubnik. This is awful. I'm not defending him as a player or anything, even as a fantasy player. He's like the last guy you can get that has a chance to start later in the year, in my mind. And I do like his situation a little bit, right? Because he's a dual threat quarterback that has a decently big arm. Let's not forget, if he had come out 2 years ago after he had 36 touchdowns, 6 picks as a junior, I believe it was, in Clemson, he would have been a 1st-round pick. Now, that would have been a giant mistake because Cade Klubnik's terrible. But oh, is this Jets team better than the Raiders last year? This Jets team is 5 times better than the Raiders team last year. 5 times better. Like, just look at the receiving weapons. Look at the offensive line's better. The defense is better. The coach is probably the coaches they're both terrible. So like Pete Carroll was a 0 last year, and Aaron Glenn's fucking awful. So yeah, this Jets team is at least twice as good as the Raiders team. That Raiders roster was just awful, especially when they traded. Brock Bowers goes down, and he was never the same last year. And then you mix that with the fact that they traded Jacoby Myers, and he was never really on board. Remember, he had all the talk about him wanting to get traded last year. So they ended up trading him. So early in the year, he wasn't engaged. And yeah, man, I'm pretty confident. I'm not saying the Jets are good, but they're a lot better than they have been. No, Dakota, they have a lot of other picks though. So they still have picks from the Sauce Gardner trade. So they still have picks from that, the Quinnen Williams trade next year. So they could, let's say they had the 7th pick, they could move up to 3. And there's like 3 to 5, quote unquote, like top 10 talents this year at the quarterback position coming out. So whether you take the guy at 5 or 7, whatever draft pick they have, or they trade up, right? Like they're going to get one of the guys. They're probably going to get number 1. They're not going to get number 1 with this team, but they want to get in the top 10 because now they can pair that with another first rounder and move up 5 spots. They're going to get Mouth in there. Imagine Mouth being an NFL GM. It would be awesome. This would be fucking great. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. I'm not ever for packaging guys. As we know, we both know, Dakota, you're a Niners fan. I'm a Bears fan. Trading up for Trey Lance and trading up for Mitch Trubisky. The Mitch thing was crazier. We traded up 1 spot and you guys weren't going to take Trubisky. It just doesn't work unless you know, but like we never know about these guys. Like Trevor Lawrence was a can't miss, and that's been hit or miss, honestly. Andrew Luck was the last one I think we knew, right? And Caleb, I think, was on that tier, but what do we know? Caleb would have been. I mean, do we even know he's good yet? But do we know that Caleb would have been good if he didn't get Ben Johnson? Right? Like if he was stuck in the typical Bears offense, like would Caleb be looking like this? I don't think so. So none of these guys are can't miss. I mean, they're just not. So I'm not for trading future assets to take an uncertain position, especially in a bad organization. No, I am not. But the upside of Arch Manning is archetype, pedigree, all those things. He's been groomed for this. For a long time. And that is the upside with Arch Manning. And I trust it more because they're all a risk, right? And Arch Manning's college film, first half of the year, bad. Last half, second half of the year, a little better. But it's just hard to pass up, right? I feel like he's a sure thing starter. But I think that the hype's going to get too high because his last name. I mean, we've seen this with Marvin Harrison's hype got way too high. And I liked Marvin Harrison's college film. But if Marvin Harrison's last name was Jones, it was Marvin Jones. And maybe that's not a good example because that was a player. Marvin Simpson, if that was his name, would Marvin Simpson have gone 4th overall? He might have. But I think it would be more like 6 or 7. And, there's been some really good success stories. Look at Steph Curry. Like there's been a lot of really good, and those tend to get blown up a little bit in the media, but like these guys that have been around the pro locker room and have a really good father that's an athlete or in the family, and that's the Arch Manning thing. The brother didn't though. MVP, the brother, I forget it. It's the other guy, the other Manning. He didn't turn out very well. Jay, that is a question for Mr. Michael Storey. As you guys know, I do a lot of the current year going into whatever draft it is, the month or two before, I put a lot of work in, but I am not watching college ball very often, so I can't speak. And obviously Arch Manning gets a lot of pub, so I've watched Arch Manning plays for Texas. These other guys, I don't watch that much, so I'm not going to speak on things that I don't have a real strong opinion on or a lot of knowledge about. So I could tell you all that, the counselor would give you some, this kid's got a big arm. He rocket athletic. He's going to have high draft capital. We love him. Like, that's just bullshit. Like, I don't give you bullshit. I'm going to give you what I actually think and what I've seen with my eyes. Haven't seen a lot from him in terms of I haven't seen a lot of him. So I could not give you a real educated answer on that one. So I will admit that when I don't know things, and as you guys know, I'm an NFL guy. And I'll be watching him, next year, obviously a little bit play in college and then before the draft process. But I just know about the class is really strong and it's really deep, not just at quarterback, guys. It is really fucking deep. Jeremiah Smith is a guy that he's looking like a mix between Julio Jones and Terrell Owens. Like from what the film I see, dude's a monster, man. And this is probably the best receiver prospect I've ever seen, possibly. And that's saying a lot. So this is the can't miss, and this would be wild if he goes number 1 overall in this epic quarterback draft, because like I said, like we don't know about the quarterbacks because it's so landing spot dependent. Wide receivers are generally a safe bet. Like they don't, but a guy you take in the top 5, like that's why Marvin Harrison's so alarming. He's been a bust, and it's not just on Marvin Harrison. These wide receivers don't bust, guys. Like these generational guys, and if they do bust, it's because we evaluated them wrong and they weren't generational. Like talent like that, as long as they keep their nose clean, it's going to be great. So that would be wild to see him go number 1 overall. All right, guys, that's it for me. I got 2 dogs that are itching to go out. I can't say the word. They know the word. It starts with a W. I guess they're kind of smart. They take all my intelligence. So great show, guys. Appreciate everybody as always. We'll talk to you guys in the Dynasty chat. Sorry to all you guys that are not in the Dynasty League. I know the Discord's been a little light on messages because we're all kind of chatting in the Dynasty chat. Once the season starts back, or once the draft is over, I'm sure a lot of us will go back to the Discord. So if you feel a little left out, DM me personally. I'll chat with you. And we, again, sign up for the redrafts, guys. I have 2 posted. It's a separate tab in the Discord. I can show you guys real quick if you haven't seen where it's posted at. So, by the way, check this out. I joined the fantasy football counselors fucking thing. Just him saying all this stupid stuff. I asked him as a judge, like, hey, counselor, what does the 16 rounds include? Hey, brother, watch the video here. You'll be happy. What a clown. What a clown this guy is. I think I made another funny comment in here too. Oh yeah, check out this one. Better get that 16 rounds. Guys, quote from the counselor. Guys, draft every rookie this year. 3 of them will pop, but if you grab all 16 of them or grab 16 of them, you might find 3 and get 9th in your league. No last place fee for you guys. That should be the counselor's real slogan. What a clown. Sorry, I don't mean to harp on him, but it's so easy to harp on. So here it is, guys, the redraft sign up right here. So the 2 leagues listed, you got to just choose, and then we'll get separate chats. So that's the tab for it. Redraft sign up. Those of you in there interested in playing, get your spot now, and then we'll figure out the details later. And then I'll be forming more leagues. I'm going to get a couple filled, and then we'll fill 2 more in the next month. Every month we'll try to get 2 more filled, maybe 6, maybe 8. I can play a lot of leagues. So whatever you guys want to do, I will do. All right. Great show. Appreciate everybody. Great drafts all around. Dakota, we both had 1 awesome draft and 1 kind of poopy draft. Next time, let's get 2 great drafts apiece. Appreciate everyone. MVP, Dakota, Blake. Shut up, Blake, media manager, Mouth, Downtown Sports, everyone else. Thank you. My parents for birthing me, my mom for, giving actual birth to me, and my dad for knocking up my mom to make me a thing. So is that enough, people? Thank God. Shout out CJ Stroud. I want to thank God. And that's it. So thank you to everybody. Love your life. Stay positive and respect each other. I'll be back on tomorrow night.
You just seem like a good dude. I thought I'd see if you want to grab a beer, that's all. I'm glad you called. We get home safe, Pistol.
You got it, Jobin.
I'm sorry, what? Nothing. Oh, what'd you say?
I don't know. You nicknamed me Pistol, and I just called you Jobin. It means nothing. I'm drunk. I'm gonna call a cab.
All right, man. You have my number, yeah?
I got you stored in my iPhone.
All right. If you need me, call, okay?
Oh, man,